Old World, Florida. Dr. Narco Longo. Brought to you by the Florida Department of Magic. Welcome to Florida, baby. Florida is the original Garden of Eden. Florida has the highest concentration of freshwater springs in the world. Florida oranges are the golden apples of mythology. A race of giant men once roamed this peninsula. The Smithsonian can suck my balls. Florida is littered with many ancient megalithic ship anchors, known as sacks or stones. I'm bringing Saxa back. Noah's Ark was constructed out of gopher wood. Gopher wood only grows one place in the world, Florida. Orlando, Florida.
Wow. Oh my God. Wishing you abundance, manifesting. Wow. Oh my God. Happy Lionsgate, everybody. Wow. So, what's up, guys? It's August 8th, 8/8, which is allegedly the Lionsgate. And we're not going to hate on it too much, but we're definitely going to, you know, I don't know, chop it down to size or, see what it's really all about. But there's some very interesting Florida connections, as always. That's where we're going to kick it off. And yeah, we're going to talk about Leo, though. So that's what the show's really about. We're going to be talking about the zodiacal sign of Leo. And this is our, Leo stream. We've been doing one for each sign of the zodiac in order. And now we're at Leo, but it also happens to be 8/8, which many people think is the most significant time of, part of Leo. Up for debate. But yeah, y'all talking about some good stuff. So, Merlin, what's up with you, man? How's your day going?
My day's been good, man. Busy, but good. Looking forward to talking about Lionsgate, all things Leo, the truth about Lionsgate. Looking forward to learning about the Medici lions. We've got some really cool birth charts to look at. Yeah, it's going to be a great night. Lots of good stuff to talk about.
Totally. What's new on your channel? Anything recently?
No, but I do plan on launching a astrology course, essentially like a free astrology course, like starting from I think episode 1 or the first lesson is going to be what is a birth chart, or not what is a birth chart, but like what is an astrology chart, like starting
Okay.
like bare basics. But lately, I don't know, I've been in a funk, man. This always happens whenever Mercury goes retrograde. I have a tough time making content, and that's not like purposeful. I'm not like, oh, Mercury's retrograde. I would have loved to be making some content over the past month. I was just busy in different ways, more than usual. So
Yeah,
looking forward to getting back into it.
totally. Now, is there anything to say about Leo being like school, summer break, leisure, exercise, activities?
That's actually a really great point.
So,
Yeah. The time of the year that this is too. And that's what's so cool as you think about, I mean, talking about summer break, how cool is it that school pretty much begins and ends on Mercury ruled signs of Gemini and Virgo? Like that's kind of like when you take your finals. Like I know like the North ends a little bit later, but it still pretty much ends in Gemini. And it pretty much always begins in Virgo too. So that's very interesting. And then yeah, the Leo for the summer, yeah, rest and relaxation. This is our time to lounge and laze, as
yeah,
kings of our respective jungles.
totally. Um, all right, how about this? What is the Lions Gate? What is this? Is it a new phenomenon? What's up?
I would say the Lionsgate absolutely is a new phenomenon. We can pull up an article here in a minute if you'd like, but I've got a bookshelf next to me. I've got many bookshelves in different rooms throughout the house with a lot of old astrology books. And I say that not to brag, but to say that none of them talk about the Lionsgate. Like
Yeah,
literally zero of them talk about the Lionsgate. So it is pretty new, but it doesn't mean there's nothing to it. Is it definitely modern astrology? It's a lot like the it's like almost Facebook trash, but there's like something to it. Like they talk about the buck moon and the this moon and the that moon. Those
yeah,
are all new names for those moons too. Those names haven't been around for millennia, like some other things have. But Lionsgate is on 8/8, and it is in Leo, obviously, and Leo is ruled by the sun. And we can talk about the solar analemma if you'd like as a connection to Lionsgate, because that's one. The fact that Lionsgate is on 8/8 and the sun with the solar analemma makes the perfect figure 8 in the sky every year is very significant. And the number 8 numerologically represents infinity. So that's why everyone's saying, with Lionsgate, oh, abundance, it's a portal. In a way, yeah, there is like a bit of a connection to infinity with. Oh, I would have pulled it up longer. Thank you, bro. There is a bit of a connection to infinity with the Lion's Gate, just understanding the sun, right? And then we can kind of relate that back to Christianity because that's what the sun's all about. Eternity, right? Isn't that what Jesus tries to teach us to strive for, is eternal life? Am I wrong in that, Longo?
Mhm.
Right. So that's what the sun is. The lesson of the sun is that it's eternal, which is again some of the lies that we're taught, right? Oh, the sun's going to be going away. It's all nothing matters because everything is going to blow up soon anyway, right? But no, in fact, the sun is eternal. The sun is perfect. The sun is created by God, and the sun makes the solar analemma. If you don't know what the solar analemma, what this is,
Go ask Emma.
if you take a picture of the sun at the same time every day for a year, this is the pattern that it makes in the sky. The sun will move. That's the ecliptic. That is the solar analemma.
Yep.
And that is the number 8. And that is eternal, infinite, and perfect, and obviously designed by an intelligent creator, which is why this is, again, it's not the most hidden knowledge. The solar analemma isn't like, I wouldn't say. Would you consider it esoteric, Longo, or no?
I'd say that it's a big kind of flatter. Oh, there's that word.
Oh,
It's
no.
a big geocentric Earth.
Nice.
It's a big geocentric Earth smoking gun, right? Because when you see this, it's very easy to visualize the sun being local. You know, that's the way I see it. So I don't know.
I think that's so correct. It's the proper interpretation, bro. That is the esoteric part of the analemma. Like the way you see it is excellent as a geocentric proof. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Now, Carter Ray here with $2 says, "Welcome back again, wise Wigger Merlin." Oh, yeah.
Damn, you guys got to have Aldog study me, I guess, or something.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. There's the analemma. You could say it's like an 8. Definitely an 8. Certainly a figure 8. That's that shape. You could also kind of see a fish in here, right?
Yeah, certainly.
We were talking about the cat and the fish last episode on Thursday, 2 days ago with Juan. We were talking about the catfish, the sea cat, how there's the cross in the skull of this certain catfish in Florida. And when I look at this, I also see kind of a fish, the long, larger end is the body of the fish, the smaller end is the tail. So definitely an 8, maybe a fish. And I say that because infinity, infinite, the fins, the fin of the fish, But yeah. Leo all the way, though, for sure. It is the sun. Leo's ruled by the sun.
I was muted there for a second.
Oh, what were you saying?
No, I was just agreeing completely. And then, yeah, it's funny how the other day we were talking about, or at least I was kind of thinking about the idea of like fish kind of being infinite. You know what I mean? Like that abundance of God. So that ties in perfectly.
So, something else about Lionsgate we can talk about. 8. Man, what was I gonna say?
There's Sirius. I mean, Sirius. Okay, that's another thing too about Lionsgate, right? So Sirius is heliacally rising. You're gonna hear this term like thrown around a lot. Heliacal rising of Sirius. And what that means is Sirius is rising with the sun. So the sun is conjunct Sirius for a few days. That's what this is all about. And that's why Lionsgate has a window, right? You'll hear, 8 is the peak of Lionsgate, but there's a window. Well, that's because in astrology, conjunctions have tolerances. Well, I forget what word, but it's like, plus or minus certain degrees, right? So this is a close conjunction between the sun and Sirius, which is true. But the thing is, everyone's tying that into Lionsgate as this, oh, it's connected to Lionsgate, but it's not, because as we know, the fixed stars slip. Sirius is a fixed star. So right now, Sirius is conjunct to the sun during this 8-8 Lionsgate, but in a few thousand years it won't be. So it's not like a permanent eternal connection that should be made. And again, that's why this is not written about by more ancient, more studied. No, do I mean offense to the modern astrologers? Yes, I do. More better astrologers from hundreds of years ago than the people who are writing about it. Can I share this article real quick?
Yeah.
Are we going to talk some shit right now, dude?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, this article, Vogue, right? I searched, I DuckDuckGo. It's like Lionsgate portal, right? Vogue. The Lionsgate portal is approaching. Here's what it means for
No. Say it in the Vogue voice.
In the Vogue voice. Well, look who it's written by, bro. Lisa, whatever. I'm calling myself fucking Wise Wizard Merlin. So Lisa started. I can't talk shit. Go ahead. The Lionsgate. Oh, go.
The Lionsgate portal is approaching. Here's what it means for every star sign.
There you go.
Nice. And yes, written by Lisa Stardust, August 7th, 2026. So she says, August 8th brings profundity to the midsummer air as the annual Lionsgate portal encourages us to attain our dreams.
I think that was an 8. Did you say 6?
Did I say 8? I apologize. Yeah, August 8th brings profundity. My apologies. August 8th brings profundity, yes, to our dreams. The Lionsgate portal is the celestial event that signifies the alignment of the sun in Leo, the Earth, and Sirius, but it's going to slip. So it's not. For now it is, but that's like not true. That's temporarily true, and a heliocentrist especially should know this and like really be thinking about that, but it's just weird. So it just shows how they really do their best to poison astrology, maybe that's the reason for everything, to poison the holy science, right?
Well, I mean, what is our main who's our arch nemesis? What are we really fighting against? The voguification of astrology.
Yes.
Let's be real. This is our Sauron we're looking at right here.
This is why we started the fucking podcast, yes or yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like true for now. So Sirius is there, and that makes it extra cool. And the numerology of 8-8 is cool, but that's what's cool about Lionsgate. It's whatever. So ancient Egyptians considered Sirius to be the spiritual sun. So at peak marks a turning point and an ideal time to unlock one's inner potential. Also, August 8th is approximately the halfway mark of the season, another reason the doorway is activated. I'm not going to read the whole article. Let's look at this. You want to see the horoscope she wrote? Or nah?
I mean, if you think it's funny, sure.
A little bit, like Aries. Even though you're known to be bold and daring, you've been feeling less confident lately. Luckily, the portal unlocks your apprehensions and brings out the part of you that yearns to express yourself and achieve your passions. Do not hold back from claiming what you want. Use the potential to unlock your soul's desires through creativity or romance.
Yeah.
It's like, what does that mean?
Exactly. So this is exactly what people don't like about astrology. It's what I don't like. And this is the worst application of astrology. It's so vague, and it's so crude. Like, they're taking things that may be true and upcoming events, and they're filing all the zodiac signs like by sign, saying, all right, this is how it's going to affect you, Aries, then Taurus and Gemini. That's not how it works. Let's pull open the chart. Maybe you could say some stuff, at a glance, right? Or certain things maybe affecting signs. But just to broadcast like that, one by one with each of the signs, it's just the crudest form of astrology.
It is, and the only way to do it even properly is by whole sign rising. Otherwise, it's inaccurate. But as far as if you did this accurately for rising signs and looked at things that would be conjunct or like rather transiting your rising sign, and then you know what house it is in whole sign, that's how you can properly do horoscopic astrology. But you're totally right. This like shooting from the hip at sun signs doesn't make sense. And these people are like lead the audience because I checked. She doesn't say, "Oh, use your rising sign." Okay, hold on. Yeah, no, there's no mention of rising sign. So she wrote it like you're saying for sun sign, which makes zero sense.
Yeah. Well, all right. So this is one end of the spectrum. What were you showing me before we went live? I thought that was pretty cool. That's
the Alvin
article.
Boyd Kuhn excerpt. The book.
Yeah, the excerpt. Sorry.
Okay. Do you want to move the screen so I could show the whole page, or?
Yes.
All right. So, guys, this is a few pages, or like this is a page, one page essentially from Alvin Boyd Kuhn's Who is This King of Glory? This is a book that Santos talks about. Oh yeah, sure. Boom. Alvin Boyd Kuhn. Who is this King of Glory? It's an astrotheology classic. Santos talks about the book a lot, and it's got great gravy, essentially, if you're into astrotheology. And what's cool about Alvin Boyd Kuhn, if you don't know who he is he's the first person who got his PhD in theosophy. And I think I might be the number one. I don't know who else is the number one theosophy op on YouTube right now, but I get a lot of hate for my Blavatsky video that shits on her. So I don't like theosophy, but I do know quite a bit about it. That's why I don't like it. But yeah, Alvin Boyd Kuhn was the first person to get his PhD in theosophy in, I think, 1931, which is just freaking interesting. He's either way, even though he's a theosophist, he is a brilliant man, as were many theosophists and are probably. But anyway, he wrote this about Leo.
Well,
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Real quick, anthroposophy mogs theosophy. All right. Theosophy is a whole lot of nonsense. Not that there's not nonsense in anthroposophy, but Steiner really, I'll take Steiner over Blavatsky any day.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, Steiner mogs Blavatsky. Everyone mogs Blavatsky. Theosophy is mogged by anthroposophy. So much so, Leo's a mogging sign. We're going to talk about that some more. But Leo rules mogging. So much so that when I become Supreme Chancellor of the flat Earth, I'm going to rename August Mogust. Okay. Yep. And I'm going to rename the Mugen David the Moggen David.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mogust.
So clavicular was hanging out with this like young Kabbalah guy, like the guy who wraps the tefillin on all the famous, Yeah. And so clavicular got like a one of a kind, like Star of David, and I commented. I said, "Moggen David." It's the Mogen David, Mugen David, like the shield of.
Nice. You gonna throw it up?
Let me look.
Or I could look it up.
Yeah, clavicular. It was a Chat GPT. He gave him a Chat GPT. Chat GPT logo.
A Chat GPT logo.
Yeah, like solid gold or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, let's read this excerpt. What are we looking at?
All right, yeah, cool. So it just at the top begins. He's talking about Leo. He says, under this sign, Leo, in which the vernal equinox, vernal being spring, fell 14,000 years ago. So if you're unfamiliar, constantly the fixed stars are slipping, essentially, and the equinox changes signs every 2,000 years, roughly. We're not sure exactly. We don't live that long, but about every 2,000 years. What's funny? Real quick side about ages, bro. I've heard a theory, and this is written like in a book. It comes from the Eastern tradition anyway, that the equinox doesn't always slip at the same rate. And that's why it might be, because you know how there's a debate between whether the great year is 24,000 years or 25,006 or a few different numbers, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I've heard that it averages out to 2,000, and this is written by this was by, again, not that I have love for the Hindu astrologers, but that's what this is written by. And but ones that I very much respect. I don't know if you know Swami Sri Yugotswar. That's another author that Santos recommends a lot. But one of his disciples wrote this, so like it comes from, I would say, a pretty good source. And Swami's or Sri Yugotswar's writings are excellent. So
yeah,
I think it's pretty cool though, the fact that it might slip at different rates. Anyway, so this book continues, right? Oh yeah, go ahead,
almost like the analemma. You know, like there's a scrunching. Like there's an analemma to the great year. It's like scrunched at one end, stretches out on the other.
Doesn't that make sense, right? Because like, doesn't 24,000 years as the great year make way more sense than 25,600, right, as an average?
Well, you know, the Jewish mystics, the ancient Jewish mystics, have always sliced the ages up into 6,000 chunks. They say almost like the fixed sign, you know, thing, like 2,000 years of cardinal, 2,000 years of fixed, 2,000 years of mutable, and then it shifts, then it resets. That's what the old mystics, the Jewish mystics, believe, the Kabbalists.
I remember you showing me that YouTube channel, and yes, guys, in case you forget, Longo has been proposing this theory that he heard about from this channel, I believe, that said, yeah, the tribe splits it into 6,000 years of cardinal, fixed, mutable as a beginning, middle, end of like an actual true age. And the fixed age is that golden age, right? Longo. And what do you remember what channel that was? Because you showed me that, like, I think like maybe a year ago now, but it was really good.
Ephraim Pavlinov, I think.
That sounds familiar.
He's a pretty cool guy, pretty open-minded for you know, tribesmen of his you know, expertise. He's like a Kabbalist, basically. But he's got some good videos. So
absolutely. All right. So I'm sorry, I sidetrack us.
Yeah.
So 14,000 years ago, guys, it was the age of Leo. That's what this is talking about. He's writing about the age of Leo in this. And he says the savior manifested in his twin aspects in the character of what the Egyptians called the lion of the double force. So there's a few different ways, right? He says the savior. So there are theories, and correct me if I'm wrong, that a different Messiah comes in different ages, and they're like, you know, the one that's mythologized. So right now it's Jesus, obviously, as the predominant Messiah, and then they're waiting for the next one, right? So he's saying during the age of Leo, the savior or Messiah was personified as the lion of the double force, or the twin lions, the old and dying lion of the old generation, and the reborn young lion, the lion's whelp of the Old Testament. So, and then this is a cool weave into what we were talking about a lot lately, which is cherubim. So he says they were also called the two cherubim. And the word cherubim derives from the Egyptian name of the two lion figures, which was Kerufu. So that was pretty much what I wanted to get. I'm not sure how good the rest of it is, but you said you saw something about gates here?
Yeah, keep reading.
Okay.
Read the rest of it.
These two lions were represented as guarding the one the western and the other the eastern gates of life at the two equinoctial points of the September and March. So this is talking about the lions, the old lion guarding the western equinox, because guys, the west is associated with death. The sun sets in the west, the sun dies in the west every day. And the young lion, the babe, is guarding the east at the two equinoctial points. On its visit to Earth, the soul in the Egyptian ritual cries, "I come that I may see the process of Ma'at, the goddess of truth, and the lion forms." The Hebrews so far carried original Egyptian typism over into their own constructions as to denominate the divine avatar as the Lion of Judah. And look at that, right? Jesus is the Son of God, often astrotheologically the Son, the correspondence there. And the sun rules Leo, Leo the lion, and Jesus is the lion of the tribe of Judah. So,
Yeah.
or the lion of the house of Judah. The title still retained by the monarchs of Ethiopia. And then it goes on. There are, I think, like another 2 slides of that. So I don't know if you want to go through all of that.
No, that sounded that's a perfect segue into the Medici Lions. So, show of oranges in the chat. Who's ever heard of the Medici Lions? Medici Lions. Merlin, you said you hadn't heard of them before, right?
Yeah, correct. Not me. Not me.
Yeah. One sec.
Oh, sorry. He was muted. I didn't realize he muted it. Okay. So yeah, I have no idea what the Medici Lions are. Let's see. We see some oranges in the chat, so we have people way smarter than me as per usual. Jen knows what's up.
Oh, I doubt that.
Ginny knows what's up.
So, Medici Lions, it's almost like I don't know if you'd call it a motif, a repeated design that you see across very significant cities. Medici lions are symbols of control, symbols of power. Okay. They are like the fingerprints of a certain banking elite, right? Not the ones you think. All right. So Medici is who we're talking about. So these are like Roman, Italian, bloodlines. Yeah.
Was it the Medicis who had 2 popes in their family?
Yeah.
Or was that a different? That was the
No, yeah.
Medicis. Yeah.
Yep. There was at least one Medici pope.
And that's what's so interesting, guys, right? Like it's not schizo to me. Oh, schizo.
4 men from the house of Medici were popes.
4. That's a lot of
Medici
popes, guys. That's a
Yeah.
lot of popes.
Yeah. So the Medici lions, it's almost like the pine cone at the Vatican. Like you see the pine cone in the hand or like the vase, the stand. That's just kind of a symbol, a Vatican symbol. Used in other contexts too, but it's also like the obelisk, right? You see an obelisk in a city, you're
Yes.
like, oh, you see a big stone obelisk downtown, you're like, all right, the city's on the map. The city's been instrumental in their plans in some way. So Washington D.C., of course, they're all over Egypt. One in Central Park that I think they say came from Egypt. Obelisks we're still talking about. But yeah, obelisks all over, and it's a nice little kind of clue, breadcrumb, smoking gun kind of combination of all those. It's a schizo maxing launch pad, right? When you see an obelisk, right?
Yeah.
Well, just to I bring up those two because that's kind of what Medici lions are like. Like you see an obelisk, you see one of those grand kind of pineal gland, pine cone displays. Something's up. Well, the Medici lions are like that. Medici lions. Could you pull up their Wikipedia, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some, of course, in Italy, famous ones. There's some in Switzerland. There are.
Nope, that's not okay. That should be good.
Lions. So here, I just asked for a complete list. So there's some in Sweden, St. Petersburg, Crimea, Paris, Washington, D.C., New York City, of course. Now, those are all like very ancient or not ancient. They're either ancient or very relevant, influential cities. Well, there's also a pair in St. Augustine, Florida. A big pair, grand pair, Medici lions being like a common motif of sorts. It's you'll see them sometimes in front of houses, like you'll see them in front of small crappy houses. Sometimes have small ones like a lion on each side of their gate,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
that's there's something to the lion's gate. Okay,
100%.
there's something to lions being perched at the entrance of something, right? In China, they call they're not always a lion. They have something called the foo dog, and the foo dog, sometimes a lion or a cat too, or kind of a mix between a dog and a cat. They're often holding the world or a sphere in their paw too. Pretty
Nice.
interesting. Can you pull that up in another tab, please? Foo
Yeah.
dog.
F-O.
F-O-O-O. I think so, yeah.
Foo
F-O-O.
dog.
Dog.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Look at that.
See, so this is like a common Chinese design motif where pretty much the same thing, right? Instead of the globe, it's like the flower of life or the seed of life, the sphere of life. But so
Yeah.
yeah.
The sphere of life. I like it. Like that's cool. It
Now
does have.
these are like a symbol of the like imperial strength and like ancient traditions in China. This is a pretty popular design or type of statue in China, and they're often at the entrance of things: bridges, gates, doorways, driveways. And so yeah, in the West, it's more the lion. These things are pretty lion-like. They call them dogs, but let's be real. Let's look at those claws. Look at those. That's like a lion,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
The claws to it. And the stance. They don't look nice.
No. So let's go back to the Medici line. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So here we'll just read here. We'll just read from Wikipedia. The Medici lions are a pair of marble sculptures of lions, one of which is Roman, dating to the 2nd century AD, and the other a 16th century pendant. By 1598, both were placed at the Villa Medici in Rome. Since 1789, they have been displayed at the Loggia, I don't know, dei Lanzi in Florence. The sculptures depict standing male lions with a sphere or ball under one paw, looking to the side. Copies of the Medici lions have been made and publicly installed in over 30 other locations, and smaller versions made in a variety of media. Medici lion has become a term for this sculptural type. A similar Roman lion sculpture of the 1st century AD is known as the Albani lion or Albani lion, and is now in the Louvre. Here, the stone used for the ball is different from the basalt body. Both may derive from a Hellenistic original.
So the stone for the ball is different from the basalt body. That's pretty cool. Oh, I want to download that. Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No
There we go.
worries.
All right. A pair of lions were required by Ferdinando I de' Medici, Grand Duke of Tuscany, who had acquired the Via Medici in 1576 to serve as majestic ornaments for the villa's, I guess Villa Medici, my bad, villa's garden staircase. The Loggia dei Leoni, the first lion, originates from a 2nd century marble that was first mentioned in 1594 by the sculptor Flamenco Vaca, by which time it was already in the collection of Ferdinando. Vaca reported that it had been found in the Via Prenestina outside Porta San Lorenzo. According to Vaca, the lion had been a relief which was carved free of its background and reworked by Giovanni Sciarrino, of whom little is now known. You want to keep going through the history of it?
No, we don't have to. But that picture on the bottom right would be a good one to click on.
Yeah.
So that's the ancient version.
Cool.
Like first century AD, I think it said. So that's kind of one of the inspirations or early, iterations of this. And you got to wonder, what did the sphere represent before the globe theory became a thing? Because we all know the Medicis and these Roman families, even though they at first probably seemed like they were opponents to Galileo's theories and stuff like that, eventually it would be Medici's, Jesuits, etc., you name them, who would end up pushing the heliocentric model. Part of it has to do with Columbus, so that's another thing, But yeah, so Merlin? What do you think this ball could have represented before the heliocentric model?
I think the heavenly sphere. There's the celestial globe. The sphere is my poor little bank account. Yeah. The celestial globe, perhaps. If whatever the firmament is encompassed within, it could be that. There's also the theory that I don't agree with, but some people think that, again, if God is masculine, then perhaps there is something outside of him that is not sentient, that is enveloping him even, and that is feminine, and this is guarding that, which is guarding us in a way, if that kind of makes sense. Now, I don't agree with that, but that's kind of the theory that God is living inside a feminine essence, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, again, that's do you know which denomination proposed that, or which
I don't.
Okay, I remember I read that somewhere, but I forget where. Probably some silly theosophist.
So, yeah, in Roman times, the sphere symbolized the cosmos in general. They did not see that as a shape of the world thing. It was just like the arrangement of the whole world. Heavens and earth were in a sphere, and the Koreshan unity. This hollow earth cult here in Florida that was near Fort Myers. They believed in immortality through celibacy and fasting and stuff like that, but they also believed in a hollow spherical earth.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hollow.
Yeah.
I'll never understand that, but whatever.
It's nonsense. I can't take it seriously at all. But
and who was that again that was believing in that?
The Koreshan unity cult.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's where David Koresh.
The name rings a bell. I don't know about him though.
David Koresh was the leader of the cult. Was that
Heaven's Gate?
No, they're not Heaven's
Was that the Kool-Aid one?
Yeah, what was the name of his movement? Branch Davidians. The Branch Davidians.
Okay. Nice. Nice that you got it.
Yeah. But yeah. Waco, guys. All right. So yeah, we got the bridge of there's the Medici Lions. And like I said, they're all in these very significant cities. And as much as I love St. Augustine, Florida, does St. Augustine, Florida have any real global relevance? Not exactly. It's historic. It's the oldest city in America. But, you got to wonder, why is it worthy of a pair of full-sized Medici Lions? There's only 30 of those, 30 different locations around the world. St. Augustine has some.
I'll type it in real quick. St. Augustine?
Yeah, here, I've got it queued up here. It's called the Bridge of Lions.
Oh, dude. And you know what? How cool is that? Augustine. August.
Yep. Yeah, St. Augustine. Totally. 8.
And that's what's so cool about... Oh, and you know what? The 8-8 Lionsgate reinforces the Gregorian calendar being correct. Big time. As always. As it always is. But the fact that signs occupy 2 months in our calendar is so significant, and July and August for Leo is so cool.
Yeah.
Did-
So yeah, here, click on that top left one, just so that there's a bigger window. Yeah. So guys, this is the Bridge of Lions in St. Augustine, Florida, nicknamed Ancient City. This lion looks kind of hungry. I mean, you can see his ribs in it. I don't know if that's a statement or what, but so yeah, Ponce de Leon is said to have landed near St. Augustine in 1512, 1513. Yeah, 1513. He didn't stay for long, he didn't found St. Augustine, got back in his boat. They went around Florida, went to the southwest coast of Florida. But yeah, later on, Pedro Menendez would be the founder of Florida in 1565. But still, 1565, that still makes it the oldest continually inhabited city in the United States. Pretty cool.
That's a claim for sure. Continually inhabited.
Yeah. You know, it's the oldest successful colony, too, in the United States. So there was Roanoke, which I think was no, that's still after. There was one in Pensacola that was a little earlier, I think. There was the Huguenots were here in 1562, but they left or got killed off. And then, you know, people say, oh, what about the Vikings? Well, they died out. They didn't leave much for us to, you know, look at or recognize. So, but yeah. Medici Lions, they're downtown St. Augustine. Guys, if you ever want to travel to Florida, but you don't want to go all the way down south, this one's pretty close to Georgia. Not super close, but you know, you don't have to go all the way down the peninsula to get here. And also, if you're into architecture, Tartaria, all that dumb shit, basically it's Washington DC and then St. Augustine. Number 1 and number 2 best architectural cities in America. St. Augustine is number 2, hands down. And the best part is it's all in a small downtown area that you can walk around in like 15 minutes if you really want to. See everything in 15 minutes. These huge buildings in St. Augustine, they're monolithic structures.
Is that like a legit building in St. Augustine?
Yeah.
Dude,
That's Florida. It's
like little castles going on. That's dope.
Those are monolithic buildings. They were a single cast of concrete, or close to a single cast. You know, they have to let it set and dry a little bit, but
This is why I'm typing slow, by the way. Do you see this?
so you got a cat on your screen?
Two cats on one mouse pad, dude.
Oh shit.
They're out of control.
So yeah, my mouse is sabotaged. Sorry about that.
Oh my god.
But dude, yeah, St.
Augustine looks beautiful, man. So that's near the
Come on, bro. Come on, man. Don't make me be mean tonight, all right? Come on, bro. Come on. If you
talking to Daisy Eye?
If you can see it all in 15 minutes, it's not that impressive. Well, I think it is impressive. So I challenge you. Sorry to pick on you, but come on. Well, why rip on St. Augustine? Why rip on America's most ancient city? Why throw a jab for no reason?
Is there a star fort there too?
My steak is too buttery, and my steak is too juicy. My lobster is too buttery. Like, come on, it's too walkable for you. It's too European for you, where you can actually walk around without a car. That's all right. That's all right. He's just a red-blooded American who likes to take his F-350 to every every place. And someone else said, "Just kidding, love you, Daisy Eye Bear."
Dude, all
Someone
the
else,
Bears, man.
yeah, we love our Bears.
Mhm.
Someone else said St. Augustine has the stinkiest hippie chicks. Someone said that. Yes and no. Yes and no. So partially true, but take into consideration the fact that St. Augustine also smells like horse piss because they have horse tours, horse-drawn carriages, going around the city at all times. So does definitely smells like horse piss and horse manure, but yeah,
Worth
so only
it for the architecture.
only some of that stench is the ladies, the hippies. Yeah, and we got the Star Fort in St. Augustine, legendary. I think that's the oldest masonry structure in the United States. Could be
Nice.
wrong, or it's definitely close. It's one of. I'm going to amend that statement. I think it's the oldest fort of its type. So it's got some
It's old.
superlative. All right.
Dope. Yeah, I love how Robert Flood drew military tactics around star forts. If you guys don't know Robert Flood's work, check it out, man. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah. I think that's covered, or at least, is all right, never mind. Doesn't matter. But yeah, star forts. It makes me think of like healing and killing. What's beautiful is often what's deadly, and vice versa, right? Guns are sexy. Black widows, snakes, like women, and the snake skin, leopard skin. It's women. There's this undeniable connection between what's deadly and what's beautiful, or at least stuff like that. You agree?
Completely. And this gives me so much hope because this is a drawing about military strategy, like how to siege or defend a star fort. And this is why this is an anti-doomer channel, which is one of the coolest things about what Longo talks about. He doesn't allow the doomerism. And guys, at the end of the day, remember, there is such a thing as military strategy and military intelligence. Therefore, we're going to be okay. Okay?
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying. Read into it. But yeah, it gives me hope. But yeah, it's beautiful. It, like you were talking about, a beautiful dance of like all that.
What's up, Shore? Good evening, everyone. I'm a Leo. Saw you on Kurt the Derp show. Haven't finished it yet. Well, it might be a tough one to finish. Wasn't the best interview I've ever done. Whether maybe it's my fault, I don't know. But shout out to Kurt. He's a Leo. Interesting enough, he's a Leo. So
Is he? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I looked it up on the internet. It said he was August 15th, I think. But yeah, good to have you here. I hope you enjoyed it somewhat. I wish we focused on Florida more. That's all I'll say.
Kurt is very animated about those certain subjects that he really loves. So
yeah.
But yeah, dude, overall, love the Jimmy Dore show. I watched the first 45 minutes of it. I thought it was good so far. First 45,
Yeah. Well, I was certainly getting torn to pieces in the comments.
Dude, the comments.
People are a bunch of snowflakes over there, right? Bunch of liberal losers. Sorry, no offense. Someone say, hey, all right. These people spit venom in my face. I got nothing good to say about them. Bunch of snowflakes over there. Kurt's a great guy. Seems like, funny. Not necessarily my type of humor. I laugh at what's funny. I don't laugh at every every little quip, every little, I laugh at what's funny. Sorry, that's honest. Most people laugh out of social pressure. Let's be real. Most people chuckle because they're dying inside. Like, no, I laugh at what's funny. And he did make me laugh a couple times. So people were saying, "Oh, you didn't laugh at all." No, suck my balls. But
And people should also realize it's way different being in the conversation
yeah.
than watching it. It's so fucking different.
Anyone in those comments, let's see you sit through 2.5 hours of that and conduct yourself amazingly. I mean, like I said, he's a good guy, but it's not exactly the easiest conversation to have. He interrupts, like, that's his thing, I guess. He just doesn't care if he interrupts you at all. I mean, it's nonstop, so whatever.
But
he's used to. How about this? He's used to this comedian style thing where it's two comedians, they're riffing and ripping and jumping in every other sentence. Not my style. Didn't know that's what I was going into. But I don't, like I said before I went on, or before it dropped, I don't do well with doomerism too. I don't do well with the fucking high blood pressure conspiracy theories. Like, come on,
You're right. And honestly, that's a pretty good point. And that's maybe why Kurt wasn't really interrupting. I'm not trying to like even simp for him or whatever, but like think about what he does on the Jimmy Dore show. He's second chair there, right? So his job is to like get a quip in and then dive out, right? He's in with the joke, out, in with the joke, out. That's what he does on camera all day. So like it makes sense. Like as you're talking, he'll throw a comment in here, throw a comment in there, try and go in quickly because like, oh, he's not charisma maxing.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. People couldn't handle. If I turned the switch on, all right, it would be like Mr. Manhattan and fucking The Watchmen. All right, you'd be reduced to particles if I turned my full charisma on. All right, you'd be dematerialized. All right, so
I also don't think there were as many negative comments as you think there were. Again, I saw plenty of positive comments. I love reading comments for the most part. So
yeah, and luckily God made me where I don't actually get bothered whatsoever. I actually get a little bit of a rise out of it.
Oh, nice. Jeez.
So I don't give a shit. So, hey, to everyone in the chat that had good things to say and could feel for me a little bit, could sympathize a little bit, I appreciate it. And I'm thankful to Kurt for having me on his show.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not everyone. My show's not everyone's cup of tea. My delivery's not everyone's cup of tea. And so, the feeling was mutual. Let's just say that. All right. And I think Kurt was nice. I think his audience is really the problem. Kurt was nice,
dude,
no doubt.
And overall, I would say that Kurt and most of his viewers are way more a force for good than anything, right? Like, are we on the same wavelength spiritually?
Yeah.
Probably not. You know what I mean? But like, are they bad people who are out doing harm and injury? I don't think so. You know what I mean? I don't think they're voting Democrat either.
They're really it's just a lot of liberals, really. A lot of it came down to politics. A lot of it came down to me saying women didn't have charisma. That's really it.
Oh, that was
everyone loved the show, except the people who got triggered because I said women don't have charisma. Oh my God, what is so terrible? What a terrible thing to say, even though we all know it's absolutely true. It's so evident. It's not even funny. I mean, like literally, if I replaced charisma with being funny, everyone would have been like, "Oh yeah, dude, women aren't funny." But
Good point.
if you even imply that charisma is that missing ingredient, it goes right over everyone's head, and people are like, "Oh, you're not charismatic." No, fuck that.
Longo, I'm sorry. Maybe clarifying this too. Would you agree that also most men are lacking in charisma? Or no?
Hey, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? Because look at the definition. A rare personal quality attributed to leaders
who
arouse fervent, popular devotion and enthusiasm. Some people lack charisma, guys. And Longo thinks all women lack charisma. I'm staying
It's
out
not
of
that
it.
they lack it. It's just not their. It's not their dominant. It's not a hormone that they produce, or whatever. Like, it's.
I like that you said grace though, because yeah, dude, and grace is so attractive in a woman. Is a woman who is a woman who has grace not attract more than a classless woman, right?
Yeah, and charisma is so conversational. That's not where women shine. Sorry. Hey, hang me. That's not where women shine. Women have such better gifts to offer. Women have such, like I said, they have even better powers at their disposal. So whatever. People got triggered because I said women don't have charisma, and I said I like Trump. That's it.
They
99%,
did, yes.
99% of the bad comments were either triggered at the charisma part and they ran to the comments, or they got triggered at the end with the Trump part, and then the comments were all like, "Oh, I thought this was amazing. Then I found out he's a Trump tard, unsubbed," or something like that. Like,
And I
Yeah.
wouldn't say they're coming at you, bro, from a liberal perspective. They're more like anti-establishment entirely. They don't like Dems or Republicans. So they're just like, honestly, more towards where I'm at, where I don't like any politician besides Dan Blazarian.
yeah. And here's another thing. I don't care. I don't care. Go away. I don't care. Is this how you navigate life? Do you like? This is like so manipulative. I'm not gonna. I know. Maybe I'm magnifying this way more than I need to. But is this like how you conduct yourself normally? Do you just like, oh, should I just leave? Like, do you guys hate me? Is this a bad place? Like, this kind of emotional yikes, should I stay here? If you don't like it, then leave. What's the point of putting it out there? You're hoping that I see it and like tweak my behavior. I don't give a shit. Go leave. I've never asked for a single subscriber. Everyone who subscribed to my channel did it on their own volition. Didn't get reminded by a graphic. I didn't tell them to. Okay. So yeah, I'm proud of that. And I am not at all upset about people taking a hike. So if you came here because you saw me on some other show, well, this ain't that other show. I don't care. All right. I'm Santos Bonacci maxing. You know how Santos Bonacci got his followers? By telling them to go screw themselves. All right.
Do you know how we got his channel banned?
Well, we're not going to take it that route, but yeah.
Oh my gosh. Derision maxing, bro. Holy moly.
See, I agree with this. Obviously, you don't care, or you would be talking about it. All right. But yeah, keep your whiny little comments to yourself. Just sorry. My YouTube channel comes along with my attitude and my personality flaws. That's another thing. Like all Kurt's personality flaws. Not saying that I'm not saying that there's a lot, but I'm not saying there's any. Okay. But mine are like listed a million times in the comments, like boom, 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 boom. And not a single person's got a thing to say about Kurt. That's not true. A lot of them did.
A ton of people were like, stop interrupting, bro. So
yeah.
Sorry, I'm a bit, you're flowing.
That's all right. He's a tough host to kind of mesh with. I thought we had a great topic nonetheless, but I'm not going to hold my tongue when all these retards and liberals and snowflakes in the comment section start yapping, ankle biting.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care.
Well, I mean, he's a tough person to disagree with, maybe. Like,
well, yeah,
is that a better way to put it?
A lot of his. Here's another thing. Okay, just got to get it all out there. It sounds like a lot of his solutions, like it sounded like, from what I was getting from my limited, window into what he says, sounds like his solution is basically just like round up everyone that's connected to the Epstein files and like execute them, and then that's going to solve the world's problems. I'm just on an opposite, totally different approach, totally different outlook. But
And that's all good. You know what I mean? There's no need to like hate each other over that. You know
yeah,
what I
and
mean? So, like, it's fine.
apparently he doesn't like Owen Benjamin. So I don't know.
That's all right.
Seems like me and Owen Benjamin are kind of we seem to align with a lot of the same people. So yeah, I think I'm expressing the same level of scrutiny that I received in those comments there. So again, I don't care, not a victim, not at all whining, but Kurt's a Leo. We're talking Leo tonight. So yeah, I don't care. And another thing, all those pussies in the comments they're not at all used to the people they're talking shit to replying to them in the comments. I mean, they were shocked. Like, yeah, many of them tuck-tailed and ran and deleted their comments. The best is when someone leaves a 2-page comment and then it's got like a easy or hilarious mistake in it. Like someone called me a faux intellectual, PHO.
Oh,
PHO intellectual.
interesting.
All right.
Like, do they misspell it on purpose? Was that part of the joke? Like,
no,
was like Chinese
they're
pho?
just actually that retarded.
Oh,
Just actually that dumb. You know what? Call me arrogant since we're just going off here. There's got to be some type of person out there who just gets jealous or angry or bitter or something. Like some people you can just never win over. Some people you can just never make happy. You know, they're going to hate you because you're happy that day. They're going to hate you because you're whatever. All right. I don't give a shit. People can suck my balls. So, but all right, just to leave it on a good note. I like Kurt. I think he was a good guy, but I'm not going to mince my words about, some of the people in his comments. So.
It's the comment section, and it's all good. And yeah, I think Kurt's hilarious, especially on Jimmy Dore's show, bro. And people in the comments or in the chat are saying that Jimmy Dore is a commie. Like, yeah, Jimmy Dore's domestic policies aren't ideal, but he is good on geopolitics, and that's the thing that Longo talks about sometimes, guys. Is like, when I remember you said something a few months ago that was like, oh, even though it's all a show, enjoy the show. People were like, chill, or shill. And it's like, no, like you get what's good out of what you can, essentially. You know what I mean? Like utilize things for what you can and move on, I would say.
Yeah, totally. But hey, thanks, Kurt, for having me on. We're wishing you a happy birthday here in the coming week, if that's actually your birthday. And yeah. All right. So what else? Talking about the Lions Bridge, we don't need to focus on it too much, really. Just a cool thing at St. Augustine. How about we go take a little ride, little satellite drone flight?
Oh, we're going to space, boys.
Yep.
I've always wanted to go, and now I can.
Here we go. All right, so we are in Florida, guys. And we're going to no-scope St. Augustine right here, rain bolt type shit. And yeah, so here's downtown St. Augustine, the Lincolnville Historic District, St. Augustine Historic District over here. And this is where the Bridge of Lions is. So you can see, we'll zoom out. Remember, the Spanish landed here for the first time when they came to the United States. So they started over here in Spain. Not all the voyages went like this, but many of them did, where they would come down the coast of Portugal, down to the Canaries, okay? And I believe Columbus left from the Canaries. And then they would sail south a little bit and catch some currents, and they'd almost come close to the north coast of South America. And that's where the Gulf Stream, or one of the currents of the Gulf Stream, picks up and starts pushing north up the Atlantic coast. So St. Augustine is important. Why? Because the currents aren't as, they're not quite the highway that crosses the Atlantic in the north. It's like a very obvious kind of, what's the word here? Not unified, not condensed, like what would the word be? Basically, all the energy gets focused into this one tract, right? But when you're down here in the Caribbean, there's a lot of different currents moving around. So St. Augustine's so important because it's right here where the current kind of comes together and makes a right-hand turn, a sharp right-hand turn across the Atlantic. So this is what takes you back home to Spain, pretty much. It could also take you straight to Ireland if you weren't paying attention. So this warm water highway, it comes, much of it originates in the Gulf of Mexico, right? So there's other ocean currents way, way out here that are doing their own thing. But all this warm water is coming out of the Mississippi River, spilling down into the Gulf. But also Florida and the Yucatan Peninsula are producing millions and millions of gallons of warm spring water. Warm, it's like 72 degrees, but warm compared to the Pacific or the North Atlantic, very warm. And that's where the Gulf Stream gets a lot of its energy, gets a lot of its fuel. And that right-hand turn is right there off St. Augustine. So this is like the last stop before returning home. Cool. That's what put St. Augustine on the map. So you can see the inlet here. And right here's the bridge. So let's go down onto the street, see what that looks like. So downtown St. Augustine, we could go, like I said, you can see everything in 15 minutes. So it's got this cool European look to, the cities, the facades, the city streets. Let's just hang around a little bit. Let's see if, what's up, girl? Do a little cat calling on the street. Leo season. Do you think cat calling's a Leo thing? Shooting your shot in a public.
Yeah, and it's like that's
way.
definitely a negative Leo thing, right? Because guys, if you hear a negative stereotype, it's whatever. Every sign has negatives and positives. Yeah, like that's attention in a negative way. Yeah. 100% Leo.
So you can see here, all in a 15-minute walk. You can see all this, and the fort's way, way down here. When I was living in my van, I'd park my van right up against the water here. All the time, whenever I'm passing through St. Augustine, park right over there against the water. So nice, dude. St. Augustine has like perfect weather 99% of the year. Here's
be a great place to live in a car.
Yeah. All right, so there's the fort. Gonna go back to the bridge. This is where they do the horse tours too, horse carriage. But all right. Anyone need a puke bag? Sorry for the motion sickness there. Damn, where are these lines? Is this?
They tore him down in 2020. They thought it was a Confederate statue.
For real. Am I tripping, or are they just not here today on this day? All right, hang on. Maybe they're on the other end.
Other side, that's what I was going to say, yeah. Time to cross the bridge, guys. Here we go. Buckle up. Buckle up, buckaroos. You're in with Caitlyn Jenner right now. It's actually sick how it's like behind the same car, so it looks like we're legit driving right now. Like we're cruising. We don't have any tunes playing. We're just kind of driving in silence, like a Muslim, which is fun.
Yeah, okay, here they are. I forgot. Yeah, nice. My bad. So they're facing the bridge. They're not exactly at the entrance of the bridge. They're facing the bridge. And yeah, so they both have a globe, which is interesting because many of the Medici lions, only one of them has a globe. Not always the case, but the foo dogs, that was the case. Usually only one has the sphere. But there's some really cool houses back here in this neighborhood. But yeah, Medici lions on the gate. You want to chat for a sec? I'm gonna go run and pee.
Throw my screen up. I'll figure something out. Yeah.
Okay.
Go run and pee. Sheesh, guys. All right, so let's get back to talking Leo. Right, we went on the Medici lions for a good hot minute. Leo is all about pride, right? Like if you're talking from the most basic level, that's like the basic bitch. But again, Leo is prideful because Leo is the lion. You got a pride of lions. In the time of the year, though, it is a time to like reflect on your pride. Think about like what you see outside. If you're growing crops, they're pretty much done. You know, the harvest season isn't here yet, but all of the tough work for the growing season has pretty much been done already. So right now you kind of sit around and lounge. It's very Leo type behavior comes out naturally. It's a great time for vacations. And what was I gonna say with the seasons? Yeah, sorry, I lost myself. Longo put me on the spot with this. Pride and the seasons and Leo. Oh, yeah, it's gold, guys. It's August. That's what it is. It's the month, guys. The month of August has the chemical symbol for gold in there. So, guys, Leo is ruled by the sun. The sun rules gold, and August has AU, right? So you literally have the chemical symbol for gold and then the word gust. August is the month of the golden wind. And think about that, right? You go outside right now, the sun is brilliant, it's beautiful. The sky looks beautiful almost every day. It's a great time to be outside. And then what does August bring us, right? All the gold literally transfigures into earth. Because after August, what happens to the grass? The grass turns gold. What happens to the leaves on the trees? The leaves on the trees turn gold, and then everything dies. And that's the seasons, guys. So, like, even though Leo is it's like perfection, right? This time of the year is nearly perfect. But how long does it last? Not at all. And I don't know. I always think like this is the most Leo poem I can think of. If you ever read The Outsiders or saw the movie or whatever, or just know Robert Frost, look at this. This is the most Leo. Is Robert Frost, all of his poems are all about the seasons. So like it's very easy for that reason to be able to relate a lot of Robert Frost's best work to astrology. But tell me this isn't Leo season into Virgo right here, right? Nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaf's a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief, so dawn goes down to day, nothing gold can stay. So this month of August is like that tip of the solar analemma that we were talking about earlier, or it's almost like hitting the apex right there. I don't know, it's just that sweet spot. But just like, you know, that when you peak in life, like when you hit the peak of a mountain, you immediately have to start going down again. So that's what this time of the year is, guys. That's why it's the pride. So enjoy it while it lasts, guys. The lesson for Leo is summer maxing. That's what Leo's about, summer maxing. Welcome back, Longo. I fumbled on you, bro. I'm sorry.
All good, man. Lou something says with $9.99 says, I just quit THC a week ago. Here's what the hell? Hang on. Babe, what's that?
Oh. And the bookstore is being attacked by Mossad, guys. We'll be right back with a commercial break. So yeah, you know, that I feel like that was very Leo apropos. Nothing gold can stay. But yeah, okay. So I quit THC a week ago. Here's my weed money. Appreciate your weekly dose of wellness and your Instagram story. It's not propaganda. It's fine. Oh yeah, he needs to read that. Nice. Yeah, make sure to follow Longo on Instagram, guys. He's tweaker alert. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, dude, congrats, man. Quitting weed. It's honestly, I'm not the police, but it's a good idea, you know, at least once in a while, right? Take that tolerance break at the very least. But good on you, man. Or lady. No. Lou Irie. But yeah, that's tough, man. So congrats on that. Change the battery. Yeah. Longo's smoke alarm is chirping on him. No, let's hope he's actually okay. I was kind of like joking. I assumed he's all right. Let's hope Longo's all good. I'm sure he's good. Oh, check this out. So this is random. But when I brought this up because we've been talking about the cherubim a lot. This was the book we looked at earlier, but this word Karufu, I tried looking into it to kind of like verify what this was talking about, saying that Karufu is where cherubim came from. And I go searching, right? Karufu. And what do I find? This like random GeoCities website. It's like, I legit don't know how like GeoCities archive somehow popped up, but there it is. So yeah, like this, I guess this is talking about the Lions sort of gate, lion and lioness at encampment gate. So we'll see what David J. Jordan says about this time of the year and the Karufu, the lions. What's the chat saying? Wow, GeoCities is so old school. Yeah, dude, like GeoCities is crazy. Like, did you guys like make GeoCities websites back in the day? It was like classic GeoCities and MySpace, man. That absolutely mogs Instagram. But I'm talking, holy shit, I'm so fucking old. All right. Whoa, what's this website? This is crazy. On the top right, this guy, David J. Jordan, you see home, prophecy, and then sexual. Okay, let's stay on this page. Why is the equinox important as a starting point? And this is, okay, this might be wise, guys. So like when you talk about the ages are determined allegedly by the equinox, simply because the Lord created the starting point with an equal night and then an equal day, 12 hours apiece. An equinox is not evil, but just symbolic of the beginning when the Lord created in 7 days. For the first thing the Lord created was time, then space, then matter. Interesting. I think Marty Leeds has a better breakdown of the beginning of Genesis. If you guys haven't checked out, I'm just shouting him out again as usual, Marty Leeds, Gnostic Academy. He has a really cool breakdown of the beginning of the book of Genesis, kind of talking about time, space, matter, and the ether. It's highly worth your time if you're interested in astrotheology and the Bible. Hey, welcome back, Longa.
Hey.
We're on GeoCities now. Are you okay? Is the bookstore okay?
Yeah, everything's okay.
Glad to hear it.
We just had one of those Metzger subscribers that come to the door, tried to confront me over my charisma comments, so I had to roast him to a crisp with the flamethrower. So
oh shit.
No, but what actually happened? My girlfriend hit the heat instead of cool on the AC, and it like burnt a bunch of dust in the vents or something. So just had a little fire alarm incident there, but it's all good.
Right on.
And oh yeah. So someone said weekly dose. Lou said, I just quit THC a week ago. Here's my weed money. Appreciate your weekly dose of wellness and your Instagram story. It's not propaganda, is fire. Nice.
Sweet.
Appreciate Appreciate it, Louis. Louis Ray, I guess.
Oh, Lou, you read that? Yeah, that's exactly it.
Barney Boyle with the 4.99 says, "Never changed, Longo. I like Kurt, but used to hate him because of his coke-fueled interruptions. He and Jimmy are rare good libs, but still naive." Thanks, Barney.
100%.
Thanks for the support, Barney. And not to dwell on that too much, that's the first show I've ever done. Okay. With my same attitude, same shitty, whatever, same assholishness, whatever you want to say. That's the first interview I've ever done that had more negative comments than good ones. Now there was a lot of good ones, all right. A lot of good ones, not all my supporters. There was a lot of fair, critical people there who saw what was going on. But and again, it's not a big deal. Like, I don't care. It was a good show, but all these comments, they can just suck my balls. And yeah.
It's tough because that crowd, again, I watched Jimmy Dore a lot, and especially used to, man. Like, I've been on Jimmy Dore since he left the Young Turks, like immediately. I'm watching that show fucking forever. And they're right about a lot, right? And they're very fervent. So when they come, and they're also very well informed. So when they hit those points of disagreement, I'm not saying you're not well informed, but like everyone, very few people think that they're wrong, right? So that's kind of what it's coming as. Like, you kind of disagreed with Kurt. I wouldn't say you were an asshole. You were just you. Like, when you talk to Owen or when you talk to Jake Shields, not like a fucking first name basis with Jake Shields, but like you talk to Jake Shields, right? And you're not like an asshole. You know what I mean? But like, it's just like you and Kurt disagree politically, and it's genuinely brings up points of tension. You know what I mean? It's fucking happens. Like when me and you talk about voting and not voting in Trump, it's like, all right, we disagree. Is what it is.
Yeah, I disagree. I mean, I'm okay with disagreeing. It's all the losers in the comments, ankle biters in the comments who are shocked that someone disagrees with the host. Whatever.
Yeah. Yep. It's all good. Bro, we were talking about this. You want to get back into some stuff, or do you want to pick up where you were at?
No, let's just kind of dwell on the negative a little more and just kind of that's what people really yeah, come on, bro. Don't try and never change. Okay, we got to listen to Barney. So, thanks, Barney. Appreciate it.
But he's got 33 at the end, so he's a Freemason confirmed. But it's 6933, so he's a Freemason Nikola Tesla fan confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's Barney Boyle, so he's probably a Fed.
So, all right. Yeah, we talked. Let's talk just Leo some more, Leo is the sixth sign of the Zodiac. Was that right?
Fifth. It's fifth.
Fifth. Sorry. Oh man. All right. Fifth. Yeah. No, I knew it was wrong as soon as I said it. Fifth sign of the Zodiac. Yeah. Cancer 4th, Leo 5th, Virgo 6th, Libra 7th. Fifth sign of the Zodiac. Leo is the lion, symbolized by the lion. It's a sign that has one clear animal associated with it, No real disagreement or ambiguity on what the animal is for Leo. It's the lion, and most big cats. Sometimes you'll see. Like what in the Chinese Zodiac, don't they have a, which is not the same Zodiac, but they use tiger, right? Not Leo. Not
correct.
Lion. Yeah.
Correct.
So Leo, fifth sign, it is a fire sign. It's the second fire sign, the middle fire sign, the fixed fire sign. It is a masculine sign. All the air and fire signs are masculine. And yeah. So much of what we know about Leos, you can kind of observe in cats. Excuse me.
Bless you.
You can see in cats in general. So Leos are like cats, right? They like attention. Cats like attention, even though they act like they don't, right? If you Leos have like cats have like celebrity syndrome, right? They love attention, but if you come up to them and ask them for something like, excuse me, like don't come up to me. Cats like attention. They like to be praised. Leos like to be praised. They're masculine, but also very feminine in some ways. Leo's kind of unashamedly. It's kind of like when when people say, oh, only a confident man can wear pink, right? Only a manly man can pull off pink. You ever hear people say that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Leo's kind of like that a little bit. I forgot why I said that, but Leo is all about confidence, charisma. You want to see charisma. Leo's at their best, have the
Dude.
most charisma. It's natural. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna say Kurt has charisma, right? We could be nice. Kurt's got charisma.
Yeah.
That's why people like
Yeah.
him. He's got a lot of
Yeah.
fucking charisma.
Yeah. Okay.
Animated guy. Funny guy,
Comed-
funny talker, very
Yeah,
forceful speaker.
Comedians almost need charisma. It's one of their most important fuels, one of their most important weapons at their disposal. It's, charisma's like everything to many comedians. So,
And
but yeah, so go ahead.
and that's why there are so many. Like, how many successful comedian podcasts are there? Is that an accident? Are they all groomed Mossad psyops? Probably not. Are some? Maybe. But like everybody. And then I think also comedians need intelligence too. I think that you have to be smart, like, because truth is funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, Leo.
Yeah, and Leos are very self-oriented. Leos are self-oriented. Another thing about Leos, they can work less and receive more praise. So Leos can work less than other people and receive more praise for the same work. It's something you see time and time again. That's one of the reasons people sometimes don't like Leos, because they're jealous or they shine too bright, Leo's all about the self, confidence, warmth, brightness, light. Not the false light of Libra. This is the true light. This is the summertime. This is the kingdom of heaven, right, in the sky. And so it's all about the self, charisma, charm. You'll see in these words charisma, fire, all about fire. It's a fiery masculine quality. Can Leos be lazy? Yeah, like cats, for sure. They can be lazy, but they're also some of the best athletes. So my rankings for best athlete signs: Aries, well, maybe not in order. Aries, Leo, Scorpio, Gemini, Sagittarius. Best athlete signs, hands down. If we're talking soccer, maybe you can add Pisces to that list. If we're talking greatest of all time, then you're usually actually plucking from Aquariuses. The greatest of all the sports are often Aquariuses. But what word do we use for Aquariuses? Freaks, unique, one of a kind, one in a million, generational talent, so that's the Aquarius explanation, why so many of the greatest of all time in different sports are Aquariuses, because they're freaks. They're the innovators. Aquarius, the innovator. They're the ones who jump ahead 10 steps, 10 levels from everyone else. It's not even like a competition. It's like unfair sometimes. So is Michael Jordan an Aquarius? I think he is.
And Gretzky too. Yep.
Gretzky, Michael Jordan, you name it. Many, many, many sports, the greatest are Aquariuses. But there's also something to be said about the Aquarius Leo axis. Aquarius, if Leo rules, and I think, when we look at the houses, I always look at the fifth house as the house of leisure and exercise, especially outdoor exercise. In the sun, sweating, competing, but usually what's fun, especially in the context of fun. So Leo rules athletics in a sense. I also look at Sagittarius for ball sports because ballistics, ball, trajectories, flight path, of the ball, and right, there's a lot more moving parts. Competition is like diet warfare too, kind of a Sagittarian thing for sports. But Leos make great athletes. Like the cat, they can be very limber, very nimble, quick, invincible. Okay, I have a friend on my lacrosse team took the hardest hit I've ever seen in my life, and he got up after maybe 30 seconds. They had to bring the doctor onto the field, but he did get up and walk himself off. All right, so cats are like indestructible.
9 lives or more. Yeah.
There you go, 9 lives. Yeah. Leo is also it rules performance. So a big part of athletics and sports is performance, right? So Leos also excel in theater, acting, music. With music, Leos are not typically known for their virtuosity. They're known for their charisma, their heart, their soul, their, X factor. Leo's all about X factor, right? They can make great models. Libra probably makes the best models, and I think there's some data on that too. But Leos can make great models. They often enjoy being in front of the camera. They often enjoy being center stage. This is why we call it limelight, right? It's like citrus, lemon. I don't know what the real origin of limelight is, but it's like lemon, citrus, the sun rules citrus. But yeah. Well, what else can we say about Leo? Introductory Leo info.
Sure. The negative stereotype that is most associated with Leo is, they're attention seekers. They're attention seekers, which, again, if someone's Leo placements are negatively aspected, that could be the case. But what's much more common with Leos, and the much more, I would say, positive stereotypical association with Leos, is going to be generosity. And both of those, right, the attention seeking and the generosity can both be attributed to the sun. Because again, the sun rules Leo, and the sun and the moon are unique in a lot of ways because they both mean one in several different languages, but they each rule one sign. The moon rules Cancer, the sun rules Leo, and that's it. And then every other planet rules 2 signs. So the sun is unique in that way. The sun and moon are unique. The 2 biggest heavenly bodies are unique in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But the sun, what does the sun do? The sun does command your attention. So will a Leo command attention? Yeah, sure. So they may seem like attention seekers once in a while, but that's because they sort of do things once in a while that naturally deserve and garner attention. It's kind of hard not to notice the sun. But then they're also generous. Like, dude, like Leos are often, and they're happiest when they're able to be nice and generous.
I think
and
so.
That's
generous.
I think so. Yeah, dude. Like a lot of Leo people I've met are like genuine, like cool, giving people who like helping people out. And like I attribute that to, again, the sun. Because what does the sun do? The sun's extremely generous. Gives light, gives life, gives hope, gives wisdom, all these different things. So a lot of positives. And like that's what I really like drawing in with Leo, is that solar association. So that's why it's one of the strongest sun signs. Because like a lot of people do like we were talking about earlier, there's a huge overemphasis on sun sign in modern astrology.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to Leo, I mean, the sun, the heliocentricity of Leo is apropos. So yeah, I would say that for some intro Leo.
That's a great way to put it. Leos are like heliocentric, like
Mm,
egocentric, or like, you know, Leos are at the center of their own solar system. Right.
nice.
And, you know, I think all men kind of should be the center of their own solar system, in a way. But all right, so Leo performers. I think that people will kind of can understand Leo's qualities best through some frontmen. So singers, frontmen in bands, you know, performers. So I saw some comments already here. We can't talk about Leo without talking about people like Mick Jagger. He is one of the most quintessential Leos. He's barely got any musical talent, pretty much none. All right. Like pretty much zero. He can stay in tune pretty well, but pretty much bereft of actual talent. Just like grunts and talks and dances. He pretty much gets by with charisma and energy, X factor, right?
Yeah,
What do you think?
he's
What do you think, Merlin? You ever watch the Rolling Stones at all, live
you
or anything?
know, no, I mean, yeah, I've seen some videos of the Rolling Stones live back in the day. I was never a big Stones fan. You know, they're all right.
Yeah,
Not
me
not
too.
my flavor of classic rock, really.
I agree, by the way.
Um, but yeah, he's certainly had like undeniable, huge. I mean, there's rock star charisma, undeniable.
Yep. And another thing about Leo, okay, I think they're a little bit androgynous. All right. Leo men often get away with like silk shirts and, you know, like I said, pink shirts. Like a Leo man can wear pink, no problem. Like, you know, I'm generalizing, of course, but um, Leo men can be a little bit, because they're so masculine, because they burn so bright. They're like not even bothered they're not even slightly worried about appearing feminine, you know? They just don't give a shit. That's my read on a lot of Leos is um, there's a slight androgyny, femininity to them, you know? Because they're not to be gay, but you know, Leos are like they're like beautiful, you know. They are you know, nice on the eyes. Women, men, cats, you know, are very kind of, you know, they soften your heart a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I was gonna say something extremely mean about China, and I won't. So I just won't.
Say it.
No, I'm not gonna get stalked by a lot of angry. Yeah, no, man, I'm good. I'm in the
Extremely.
phase of my life where I'm not looking for smoke. But you get
Yeah,
it.
we're going to talk about Stanley Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick's definitely an exception to the Leos not being geniuses rule. Stanley Kubrick was certainly a genius. Leos can be smart. Leos do have, you'll see the Leos that have the big head. When a Leo's smart, you'll see it on their head. All right. You'll see it on their brain size. Leos that are smart have a big upper, you know, cranial capacity. You can see it. Stanley Kubrick's kind of like the Christopher Nolan. I'm not a Christopher Nolan. Like, I don't love Christopher Nolan, but all right, he's not a complete idiot, right? I mean, he's pretty
He's
smart.
had great movies.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. So I hate some of his recent stuff, but
You're not a fan of
you know,
you didn't see the Odyssey in theaters
Oppenheimer.
3 times?
Oppenheimer, Odyssey, hell no. I'm
The
good.
Batman trilogy was great though.
Yeah, I do. So let's talk about Mick Jagger for a sec. He gets all the attention. All right. Him and Keith Richards, the two fire signs, get all the attention in the band. Okay, Keith Richards isn't even the lead guitarist in the band. He's the rhythm guitarist. He's not even the best guitarist in the band, but he's considered this is like textbook Leos getting more credit than they deserve. All right. And I'm sorry, guys. Maybe some of you Leos feel like you don't get the credit you deserve, but in instances like this, I think it's clear to see. Keith Richards, remember I said he's a Sagittarius. He's not a Leo, but he gets more credit than the other guitarist in the band, who is way better, like way, way, way better at the guitar. Actually, an actual, virtuoso. Some of them. Who filled in? Ronnie Wood and Brian Jones, the original. Brian Jones was the genius of the band, but I think he was a Pisces. Pisces don't get the credit they deserve. Pisces are often the last to get credit. Pisces often get posthumous credit,
Yeah.
because they're like already 1 foot in the grave almost. But Pisces, the Rolling Stones story is a great astrological symphony, great astrological opera going on. Brian Jones is the only interesting guy in the band who's obviously talented. He's a multi-instrumentalist. He can pick up an instrument and learn it and get good at it in a heartbeat. He's a genius. He was the original genius in the band. And I'm not, we're pretty far removed from this happening, but he's found floating dead in a pool. Floating. When people drown, they sink. All right. When you drown face down in a pool, usually you sink to the bottom because if you gulp down water, if you have air trapped in your lungs, how did you drown? I mean,
Good question.
if you're floating because your lungs are full of air, you didn't drown. But whatever. So he allegedly overdosed and fell into a pool or overdosed in the pool. So a lot of people say it was orchestrated, right? There were some people who stood a lot. The rest of the Rolling Stones had a lot to gain. He was the founding member. So getting him out of the way gives them more rights to, songwriting, publishing, all the credit, whatever. And also they could take it another direction, a dumber direction, a more lewd, kind of just obsessed with chicks, leather, motorcycles. Brian Jones's whole thing was like the hippie movement. Brian Jones. I don't know if it's him who played the sitar and Paint It Black, but he's the one who came up with that. Maybe they hired someone to play it, but that sitar and Paint It Black, that's Brian Jones. Brian Jones got kicked out of the band, or maybe not kicked out. Maybe he died first. Within, I think, 2 weeks, they're playing a concert with a replacement guitarist. Big concert. So Pisces got the short end of the stick. Leo gets all the credit. People don't even really remember Brian Jones. They think the Rolling Stones is Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. So that's a good example. And then Mick Jagger, there's all these great singers and all these great bands, but Mick is somehow ranked like higher than them, on all these magazines or whatever. But what do you think, Merlin?
I don't know nothing about the history of the Rolling Stones at all. We could take a look at his chart.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
So he's a Gemini rising. How cool is, and he's got Saturn in the first house. That's rough. But Saturn does enjoy the first house, not as much as 12th, but Saturn's pretty comfortable in the first.
Now, at a glance here, I don't know if you ever do this, but when I look at a chart, just at a glance, the first thing I see is like the distribution, like the weight. Look at how bottom left this guy's chart is.
Yeah.
And this is kind of crude astrology, but I like to say the quadrants do tell you a lot. It's the balance of the chart. Bottom left. So I always say left-sided charts have a lot to do. These are people who have a harder time following the rules. Not saying they're all criminals, all right? But I think there's a criminal tendency a deviant tendency, a rebellious tendency, anti-authoritarian, but also just it can often be just downright poor decision making and being left field, not doing what's right. People who are very, very, very much right-sided, goody two-shoes, they can have often an easier time doing what's right, but it's not always because of their own moral fabric. It's because that's what's societally normal, is to do the good thing. So being too far right-sided, you can also have bootlickers, people who never step out of the box, people who follow every rule put before them. So this bottom left, and I also see top of the chart is ambition. You got a ton of planets up there at the top. You're getting lifted up off your feet. That's ambition up there. That's like Wolf of Wall Street energy, having tons and tons of planets at the top. People with tons of planets at the bottom, it can be sloth, it can be lazy, lack of ambition. People have a hard time getting up off the couch because they're so weighed down, But being bottom left like this, very much bottom left, makes perfect sense to me for Mick Jagger. He's very much one-sided. One-dimensional guy. Pretty much a one-dimensional guy. Chicks, dance moves, sass.
Very much so. What I like is his Saturn in the first house, which is pretty crazy, right? And what is Mick Jagger sort of known for? Like, yeah, he's a Rolling Stone, but especially for us, he's known for looking old as fuck. Saturn in the first house, and that Saturn hit him like the wall, dude. But he is an old guy, and again, who am I to talk? But he has Saturn in the first, which is so significant, and then Mars in the 12th. Did he have divorces? Let's check his wiki. Do you know if he had checkered marriages, or what are we looking at here for Keith Richards?
I think
Mick Jagger, right? Mick Jagger.
Hasn't he been with the black girl for a long time? Was that him or David Bowie?
Good for him. Boys, get down. Get down. My cat. I'm just getting them off the mouse pad. They're too much of a pain in the ass. I'm not Hassaning my cats. Don't worry.
All right. Hit him with the shock.
Get off the mouse pads. One's still here. They're obviously not freaking threatened. We're going down to personal. Oh my gosh, this is a long Wikipedia. Why never zoomed in? Person. Okay. Relationship. No. Okay. Acting, film. Personal life. Boom. Oh, he's married in the first once. Okay.
Was she blackish?
Yeah. Bianca Perez
Hispanic.
Mora Macias. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'm looking for tough times for him. 12th house Mars, first house Saturn. What else we got? Third house Jupiter.
Well, he's got a stellium or close to a stellium. 3 planets in the third house. So
yeah,
good for communicating, speaking, being a front man. But all right. So Mick Jagger, he's a great example of a Leo who gets more credit than he deserves. But how about some actually talented Leos? Let's look. Merlin, you said you were not familiar with Robert Plant?
No, he's one of the what band is he in? Is he Zeppelin?
Yes.
Okay.
Led Zeppelin. Robert Plant is I'm not going to say evolved. I know you like to use that term, evolved Leo, or in a ascended Leo, or whatever terminology.
Isn't that more of an Aleister Crowley term than a me term? I don't really use it that much, but I guess so. Yeah, evolved. Yeah. Okay. I'll take ownership of that one.
No, it's a good term. I'm saying that I don't know the ins and outs of the other parts of his life, but as far as his profession, he's at the top of his game, or what was at his peak. Robert Plant is a phenomenal vocalist. So Led Zeppelin is
look how Leo that looks.
Yep. He's the most Leo ever. He looks like a Leo.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Oh,
He,
oh, your screen's
he
coming up.
looks like a lion, and they knew they were Leos too. At Led Zeppelin, they put their astrological symbols on stuff. They chose their own sigils, but they knew he was a Leo. And Robert Plant, extremely Leo. So he's got, people always said he was good looking. The ladies went crazy about him. That's another thing, Leos. Leo men, if you're not getting swarmed by women, you're doing something wrong. All right, you're screwing something up. Let Robert Plant.
Jesus Christ.
What?
That picture.
What was his?
Young Robert Plant.
Oh yeah, his pants.
Little tight there,
Joe,
bud.
Joe
Little tight
Rogan.
there, bud.
Joe Rogan went on like a 5-minute rant about Robert Plant's dick one time about how it was always visible through his pants. Kind of gay, but
He's not wrong. It's
Yeah.
a little tight there, bud. Little
They,
tight there, bud.
he wears his heart on his sleeve, and by heart we mean his Bach Saga heart. So Robert Plant, the golden hair, the golden mane, wears a beard later in life, but he's very acrobatic. He's pretty active on stage, and Leo's very acrobatic. So their personality's acrobatic. They can jump all over the place. Musically, if there's one thing that we can say that's bad about Robert Plant, his musical style, is that it's too acrobatic. Like he's almost showing off. It's like he's very Leo. He's showing off, kind of boasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But very acrobatic. So he would kind of like grunt and moan in songs. Like barely anyone ever did that before him. 1969. Yeah, all his different stances, and pretty sassy guy too. On stage, at least. Yeah,
He's got
Robert
a
Plant.
bird there. That's cool. Bird and
Yeah,
the sick.
I forget if he caught that thing, if it like landed on him or what. But
Oh, it says right here. It says that flew into it flew into his hand
yeah,
while on stage in San Fran '73. That's wild, dude. And
it's the Holy
doves,
Spirit.
it symbolized God. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Dude, he's wearing female pants, bro. I don't like that. I'm pearl clutching, the chat saying. That's
yeah.
fine.
He's probably one of the first rock stars to do that. The whole buying your pants from the girls section at Goodwill.
But dude, you were talking, and that's one thing you were talking to Kurt about, how the X Factor has androgyny to it, and this is an example of that, the androgyny of the X Factor, 100%.
I mean, he's like the most masculine person ever by today's standards. But back then, before Motley Crue, before Iron Maiden, before Judas Priest, before any of this other stuff, Robert Plant was, pioneering the kind of androgynous look. Yeah. So he's a Leo. Now his moon is Pisces, if I'm not mistaken, and his ascendant is Sagittarius. So that makes sense.
Oh.
Is that true?
Let me check it. I didn't have it pulled up.
Yeah. Robert Plant, Astro Theme.
Yep, there it is. And his moon is on the bottom. Oh, bottom of the chart, third house Pisces. Yep.
Yeah. See, and look at him. Look at that top heavy chart.
Yeah.
Look at that. Come on.
Oh.
That's some high energy. That's some good ambition. He had a nice solo career too.
Sun conjunct Saturn. Close to within just over a degree.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, and Robert Plant, he's had a little bit of a sad story. He lost a young child to like a freak accident. Not an accident or an illness or something. Real sad story. But Robert Plant, from everything I've heard, he's just a nice guy. Like not an asshole rock star at all. But yeah, there's the mud shark story. You ever heard of the mud shark story?
The mud shark story.
Yeah,
No,
this
not.
is before mud shark took on the meaning it has today.
Okay, I was like, where are we going with this? Are we about to kick?
Search Led Zeppelin mud shark.
Oh gosh. All right. Led.
And no, I'm not talking about a Kardashian in a Led Zeppelin shirt. All right. I'm not talking about
What really happened
in.
with Led Zeppelin and the Mud Shark?
Zoom in. Let the people read it.
Sure. Times may have changed, but our enthusiasm for salacious rock and roll stories remains undiminished. We try and get to the bottom of one's most infamous tales. Okay. So what is this thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
see that picture?
Uh-huh.
So I think scroll down a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's the Beatles. It's this famous like hotel or something, and the Beatles were fishing out the window. You can fish out the window there, and Led Zeppelin was staying there, and apparently they caught a mud shark, and something disgusting happened with the mud shark with a very like a female fan.
No.
Just leave it at that. Yeah. Read it. Go read it.
The whole affair gathered. Okay, is some Frank Zappa made? Oh, dude, get off the keyboard. The incident. Blah, blah, much of the mythology. Okay, I skip it. Like, where's the actual? I'm trying to find.
It's all right. It's all right. That's it. I think people can.
Okay, yeah,
can kind of put the pieces together, but that's alleged. All right, so that's a
mud shark.
Okay, guys, we're not I'm not saying the mud shark story is true, but that's like the only stain on their like reputation that I've seen. Like, all right. Jimmy Page, I do not like that much. I like Robert Plant way more. Jimmy Page was I did not like him that much. Ugh, these drunk people outside, they're making so much noise.
Dude, random tie-in. Well, not random, but that mud shark story apparently came from a Frank Zappa album. Do you know what he named his daughter?
Hang on. His son is Dweezil, and
yes.
his daughter was Moon Unit.
Yes, right? Yes. And again, the minute it comes from, I think minute is Moon Unit. Like a minute is a moon unit. You know what I mean? It's minute. Okay. Maybe not though, but I've always wanted to bring that thread up a little bit, and this was the opportunity to do that. So what did Frank Zappa know? But what a name, man! Moon Unit. Yeah, children, Moon, Dweezil, Ahmet, and Diva.
I like Frank Zappa. His guitar, he is one of the best guitar players ever. He blows Jimmy Page out of the water. If you want to hear the best guitar playing ever, there's Machine Gun by Jimi Hendrix live. The live version's better. And then there's Muffin Man and Black Napkins by Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa, like one of the best guitarists ever. All right, ever. And Jimmy Page kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie. All right, he's good. Yeah. He's a trillion times better than me at the guitar, but Stairway to Heaven, overrated. I could learn that right now if I spent 10 hours focusing on it. The shit Jimi Hendrix did, the shit Frank Zappa did, nah, that's like next level.
I do love All Along the Watchtower.
All right, better guitarists, yes. Greater, no. So better, maybe. Greater, definitely not.
Interesting. Do you want to clarify the distinction there?
Better has to do with skill.
Mm-hmm.
Like objective skill. virtuosity, knowledge of your instrument. I'd say is like better. Better has more to do with metrics, maybe. I don't know, maybe not. Greater is like impact. So Led Zeppelin's the greatest band of all time, hands down. Hands down. Okay. There's no arguing. Each of them were the best of their instruments, but also they're so influential. They did the most with the least. The Beatles are great, but they're not the greatest band. I think objectively, Led Zeppelin's the greatest band of all time. I'm not even into them that much. You just can't argue. If you actually spent a day just trying to like figure it out or like go over all the evidence, Led Zeppelin's the greatest band of all time. And I don't even like them that much at all. You just can't argue it. The Beatles were a total psyop. They are nowhere near as good as people think. They're influential for sure. Definitely influential. But there's nothing really great about them except for like, yeah, they were very famous.
I don't like them. I like Here Comes the Sun. That's the only Beatles song I got in any playlists, you know.
Yeah.
Besides that, I never got into them.
Yeah. And that's taking them at face value. Not to mention their MK Ultra to up the ass.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney's probably fake. And Bernard Purdy swears, he went to his grave swearing that he played all the drums on the Beatles albums. That Ringo Starr was just, whatever.
All right, you did a whole stream with Seth on that, right? Seth and someone else. Am I correct on that?
Yeah. But yeah, the Beatles are like the Jonas Brothers of their time. But all right. Great. Who's great, Like, I don't know.
To be great, would you have to create something great? Like you could be as skilled as Picasso, but unless you paint an original, then it's like then he's still got you, or like what I mean.
Picasso kind of sucks too. You can throw him in the pile too. He kind of sucks dick too.
Not an art history major. Yes, he's over. Like
okay, Dali's 10 times better than Picasso, and they were like rivals. And Dali was actually based. Picasso was a fucking libtard. So.
I'm such a pleb. Dali, who's like, I don't know Dali in art, unless Salvador Dali, is that? Am I an idiot? Okay.
Yeah, Salvador Dali.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Beatles didn't even write their own songs. Exactly. Who's great? Yeah, Elvis is great. He's definitely good. A good singer. Not like the best singer, but he's great. Jim Morrison was great. Not the best singer technically, but Led Zeppelin's the greatest band of all time, and I agree with Santos Bonacci when he says that.
I was going to bring up Santos before we ended, bro. Yeah,
loves Led Zeppelin. So yeah, I actually kind of hate Jimmy Page. I really don't even like him, and I think as much as I'm into all the occult and all this stuff, Jimmy Page was definitely in it for the worst reasons. Like, whatever.
Yeah. Because his like someone in chat mentioned him and Crowley and everything, and for the worst reasons. And you and I are generally Crowley sympathizers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, apologists in some ways.
Yeah, exactly. So let's not say, with no thought really.
It's just like, do I care about the truth? Yeah. Always, no matter what form, it's being presented in. And am I going to sit there and pretend that Aleister Crowley was the wickedest man of all time? No, that's false.
Right.
That's not true. So it's not because I love him so much or because I think he was amazing. It's just not true. People way overestimate how evil he was. Okay. Don't undermine real evil. Like, let's not forget there's real evil. Aleister Crowley jokes about, eating children. but he never did it. I can tell you that. I'll bet $1 million, $1 billion. Aleister Crowley never sacrificed a human or anything even close to that. If he did sacrifice an animal, it was probably only a handful of times. And I condemn that. Of course, I condemn all his nastiness. But he promoted, he said, yeah, blood is powerful. But you know what's even more powerful? Doing your homework and seeing which incense, which fragrance goes with which planet, with which sign, and all that. He said that's the masterful way of doing magic. He said blood magic's the lowest form. It's the crudest. He detested black magic. He hated black magic. He quarreled with them openly. He publicly denounced black magic, publicly denounced Satanism. There's a lot of theoretical stuff going on with Lucifer and Satan and Baphomet, and yeah, it's like it's supposed to be shocking. It's supposed to be, it's supposed to kind of give you goosebumps or make the hair stick up on your neck. That's part of the game. But he denounced evil in a lot of forms. Was he a shady, sneaky, seedy guy? Totally. Would I swap any part of my life with any part of his? Hell no. But he was not as wicked as people think. He was a troll. At the end of the day, he was a practical jokester and a troll. And people are just getting trolled. People are falling right into his practical joke,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's got some books that are worth reading, even if you don't agree with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a genius. I mean, he was a genius. He ran circles around people, who at 20, in his late 20s, he was running circles around people who were studying the occult their entire lives. 70-year-old men. He was, and by the way, why is it okay to hate Aleister Crowley in every, like with the exception of Jay-Z and some shit, like, yeah, he has some fanboys, but why is it like totally acceptable to hate him across the board? Like no matter what type of person you are, again, with the exception of some edgelords who think he's cool on t-shirts or whatever. Why did he make it into the, like, it's okay to be disgraced group? Why did the media sign off on his kind of why did the media sign off on ruining his reputation? Well, much the same reason that Joseph Smith got kind of publicly dragged through the mud. And I'm not saying again, same thing. They're both kind of dubious characters with some sneakiness going on for sure. But their initial kind of media, when they're condemned in the media, was because they were sharing secrets of other secret societies. Like they're literally going against the wishes of a secret society and publishing their secret information because they want the public to have it or because they want to make money off it. But Crowley was publishing secrets of the Freemasons, the Templars, the Rosicrucians. Crowley was serving all their secrets to the public on a silver platter. So, all right.
What's interesting is he collaborated with Evangeline Adams, and that's what he wrote the book. Guys, Longo references all the time. The book, Astrology, The General Principles of Astrology by Crowley, and he co-wrote that with Evangeline Adams.
Mm-hmm.
And Evangeline Adams is also alleged to be the personal astrologer of J.P. Morgan. And Evangeline Adams is also, I don't know if she's the great or whatever great, but she is the descendant of John Adams. And John Adams famously, I've got a book somewhere in one of my bookshelves, President John Adams quarreled with the Freemasons. And he wrote extensively about how much he detested the Freemasons and, wanted them out of America, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I just find it so funny that his, descendant got so deep into the occult and obviously, brushed into, touched a lot of Freemasonic teachings, throughout her life for sure.
Yeah. So Robert Plant has got Sun Leo, Moon Pisces, Ascendant Sagittarius. This is like perfect for a well, it's a pretty good sign just in general. It's pretty good, pretty harmonious in general. Sun in a fire sign, moon in a water sign, ascendant in a fire sign. The sun likes to be in a hot or fiery or airy place. The
Mm-hmm.
moon likes to be in a watery, more dense place with depth to it. That's Pisces. And the ascendant, air sign ascendants are probably best if I had to guess. Or maybe air, fire and air signs are the best ascendants, the best sun signs. Not best, but most harmonious, right? We'll just say that. But for a front man, Leos do not have much depth to them. Sorry, Leos. All right. When you shine so bright, you can't shine so bright and then also have like incredible amounts of depth, right? Like depth is kind of a shadowy thing or what's beneath the surface, right? So we can't have it both ways. Not everyone can be maxed out in every, personality trait or whatever. But Leos are often very one-dimensional, and they're not the deepest sign in the zodiac. Pisces is the deepest sign. They have great depth, emotional depth, creative depth. And so Sun Leo, Moon Pisces, that's going to give Robert a lot of depth. He can feel his way through songs and kind of sense his way through songs, not just grunt and like bang his way through songs like what's his name? Mick Jagger, right? Um Moon in Pisces gives him some water, cools him down a little bit, waters him down, makes him more sensitive. But also with the other two fire signs, we're getting steam, a lot of steam. Led Zeppelin is a no Cuomo, bro. All right, I just put out the disclaimer, no Cuomo. Led Zeppelin is like the steamiest band ever. If you want to know what steamy music sounds like, listen to the middle of Whole Lotta Love. It's like two people banging in the back of a van in like a squeaky bed, like in the middle of a song. Like he's like screeching on the microphone. The guitar is tripping out. And Led Zeppelin's a steamy band, hot, but also kind of sorry. No Cuomo.
Little
Hot.
Cuomo.
Hot, full Cuomo. Full Cuomo. Hot and
Or did I freeze?
Hot and moist. Am I frozen?
I think we both froze there.
Oh, my bad.
Or neither of us frozen. There we go.
So Led Zeppelin is a hot and moist band. And all right. Now, I've already said Robert Plant's probably the best frontman of all time. One of them. Well, who's also up there? And Robert Plant has a high voice, like soaring, high, acrobatic, but not too feminine. You hear some of these heavy metal singers with the squeaky, high pitched voice. They sound like a girl. They look like a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Plant always kept a certain degree of masculinity. But again, Leos don't really care how ridiculous they look sometimes. Like they'll go all out. Leos go all out on stage, Now another one, Lane Staley. Can you look up Lane Staley, please? Now, if you've ever heard Robert Plant sing, the soaring, pretty high-pitched vocals, well, you may realize, or maybe if you've ever heard Lane Staley, if you ever listened to Alice in Chains, That's Lane Staley. He has a very, very similar voice to Robert Plant. Very similar. Now, he's more of like a metal grunge singer, so it's a little angrier, you know. But Robert Plant and his voice, they're in like a class of their own. Both Leos. Lane Staley has this incredible range. Incredible range. Robert Plant's is really good too. And they're just so similar in so many ways. They're like the same height. They're both Leos. But the kicker is, and I think they're the best two best frontmen of all time. Greatest frontmen. They both have Pisces moon. So they're the same sun, same moon sign. I think it's a great combination for a frontman.
Let's get his birth chart up right now. Did you he froze again? That looks like it.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
So-
Okay, cool. All right, yeah, Lane Staley birth chart right here. Virgo rising.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, moon Pisces, sun Leo, just like Robert Plant. They're the same height, like exact same height, I think, too. The Astro theme usually has heights. See up there. Scroll down a little bit. Right there.
Oh yeah, right there. Boom. By height.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Well, I think they're both like 6 foot or 6'1". Lane Staley and Robert
height.
Plant.
Yeah, 6 foot. Boom. 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
Right there.
So they were very, they have a similar arrangement, especially the sun and the moon, which I think are most important anyway. The sun's the most significant thing in the sky, moon second. Yeah, they're drawing, they have access to the same kind of well of charisma here. So
Yeah, Alice in Chains was big back in the day.
yeah,
And
come on, guys.
Still love now.
In the chat, who's a better singer, Lane Staley or Robert Plant? Lane Staley or Robert Plant? I like Lane Staley a little better, just a little bit. And they go ahead.
I would go Plant just because I never got into Alice in Chains too much. Honestly, I wasn't a big grunge fan.
Dude, Wood, Alice in Chains, Wood by Alice in Chains. What else is really good by them? I mean, they have a million good songs, but vocally, Wood.
Was
they're
Dave
probably the
Navarro?
best.
Oh no, Dave Navarro was Nine Inch Nails. Yeah, never mind.
No, Dave Navarro was in Red Hot Chili Peppers for a little bit, but he's mainly known for what's the song? Jane Says.
Jane's Addiction. Jane Says that's what
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, because that's what I thought. I thought this guy was the singer from Jane's Addiction for a second. When you were talking like really high, I was like, oh shit, is that him? And I looked up, it was not. So yeah, I got a mix up there.
See, now Staley is great, but we're talking Robert Plant. Yes, but give Lane Staley another 20 years of life. Lane Staley died when he was like 36. Same day as Kurt Cobain, he passed away. Same day of the year.
Wow. Same
yeah.
Oh no, obviously it wasn't married to Courtney Love. What was it for him? Heroin?
Yeah, drugs.
That's shame, dude.
Yeah, and they'd
Shame.
already lost a member. The original bassist died.
Also to heroin, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh
the
my
whole
gosh,
the whole
dude.
band did heroin, if I'm not mistaken. Alice in Chains, they
Dude.
were like, yeah. Chris Cornell is a good singer too, but he's not the same. He's not necessarily. I know when you play guitar, you're still a front man technically, but when you're just holding the microphone, nothing else, that's a whole nother type of. To me, that's like a real front man, like a singer, lead singer with just a microphone. When you're playing guitar and singing, you're too much of a musician. You're a musician. A front man's like they don't have to be a great singer. They just have to have energy.
Is so you think Cornell is better than Eddie Vedder?
Cornell is Eddie Vedder's like he's okay. He's got a good voice. He's got a good voice. But Chris Cornell is miles above Eddie Vedder. Eddie Vedder is not like uh very impressive singer. He's a good singer. I don't think I've ever heard him sing a bad note, but he's not an acrobatic singer. He's not, he kind of spazzes out sometimes, but no, he's not. He's nowhere near the ballpark of Chris Cornell, Lane Staley, and Robert Plant.
Yeah, I missed the boat on Soundgarden too. So
yeah, they're not my thing. I've seen them live, but they're not my thing. I saw them live with Chris Cornell.
nice.
Not the fat black woman that replaced him.
Wait, he got replaced by a fat black woman?
Yep.
What? How did this?
You didn't know about that?
What?
Yo, they replaced Chris Cornell with a huge black woman, and it was terrible.
Okay, there's nothing immediately on Google. That's so I'm not gonna. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Give me
Why?
the KFC. I'm out of because I'm
Was this like around 2020 or something?
black hole sun. Won't you go?
Oh no.
What are some other good Soundgarden songs?
Shayna Shepherd.
Fell on
I'm sorry, I can't not at this point.
black days, something like that. Spoon Man. Put your lighter up to your spoon.
Because, dude, when we looked her up over here,
Man.
it's like, okay, she's not large. But then here,
Put some
in
crack
charge.
up. Spoon Man takes on a whole nother meaning when she sings it. Light up that. Spoon
right.
Man.
Lane Staley's birth chart.
Lane Staley, yeah. Very left-sided chart as well. Poor guy, struggled with addiction and all that.
Jupiter in the 11th. That's a blessing. And his son's just barely in the. Oh no, this is a whole sign chart. Yeah, might be in the 12th in the Placidus.
Who are some other good Leo? Let's talk about a girl or at least one girl before we sign
I got
off.
you. We'll pull up the chart charts by sun sign. We're looking at Leos. Christopher Nolan's the most popular Leo right now. Then Dua Lipa, Charlie XCX. I have no idea who that is.
Charlie XCX. She's a great Leo.
Yeah.
Example of Leos not being that talented but getting credit anyway.
Does she have enough charisma to have the talent?
J Sup, what's up, John Sup? J Sup is riffing with me on the Black Soundgarden. He's doing Black Alice in Chains over there. Alice in Chains replaced Lane Staley with a black guy too, and I have seen them live with the black guy.
Yeah.
And so Alice in Chains takes on a whole nother meaning.
Oh no. Oh no.
Alice. Yes, Massa. All right. Let's give Merlin a sec to.
I'm good.
All right, just kidding.
Checking out Charlie XCX right here. Some Zoomer who I have no idea who she is.
Charlie XCX, you don't know her?
No, like what's she? She's 34. Yeah, she's not a Zoomer.
I'm so fancy.
I'm not aware. I've never heard I'm so fancy.
Huh. Well, what about Apple?
Never heard Apple. So she's talentless, but gets all the credit.
Much. Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence is a Leo, and Lopez.
Yes.
Interesting.
And
the two
she, same
Jennifers.
thing with her. She gets way more credit than she deserves. J-Lo.
Lopez, you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not yeah. Jennifer Lawrence is actually like a solid actress, I'd say. Like honestly, like especially like she led movies when she was like way younger that were like solid. Jennifer Lopez, yeah, not a great actress.
No.
Though I did love Anaconda back in the day.
Whoa, no Cuomo. No Cuomo, bro.
No, come on, that movie was dope, dude. Zero Cuomo for Anaconda.
You love Anaconda? That's a little sus, bro.
Yeah, the film. Yeah, it was a crazy movie. Very scary.
Yeah.
Big snakes.
I forgot she was in it.
Her and who was the rapper? And that was it, Ice Cube.
Yeah, probably.
I think it was that. Yeah, or was he Deep Blue Sea? That was a good era for like shitty monster movies. Honestly, you had like Lake Placid, Deep Blue Sea, Anaconda. Lots of classic bangers coming out like in this decade.
Yeah, Anaconda was pretty. It was okay. I remember watching it.
Nice. It
When
was
they
fun.
when they cut the bee out of the dude's neck, that shit
Mm.
was traumatizing. I was like 5 years old, 8,
Yes, dude.
7. I was like 7 or 8 when I saw that shit.
Watching shit way too young.
Did
Yeah.
I ever tell you? Do you ever hear me say? I think I was 1 year old when that shit came out, but saw it at some point. Did I ever tell you that Black Hawk Down? I saw Black Hawk Down in theaters.
No.
Black Hawk Down, 2002. I was literally 5 years old and saw Black Hawk Down in theaters with my dad, like full volume. But yeah,
That's wild. Yeah, I remember when that came out. That movie was fucking dope.
Barack Obama, great Leo, gets way more credit. See, guys, I'm not trying to be mean here, but what do like 90% of the people on this list have in common? They have way more credit. They get way more credit and way more praise than they actually deserve. That I'm sorry. Okay. Just go up a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I was thinking Megan Markle.
Christopher Nolan, I already gave him some credit. He's a smart guy, but people are jerking him off like it's fucking ridiculous. It's like Dua Lipa, I don't know anything about her. Charlie XCX definitely gets more credit than she deserves. Barack Obama, thanks for ruining our country and getting called the best president ever.
Got a Nobel Peace Prize before he even did anything. Then he bombed 6 different countries for 8 years. Nice. Dropped more bombs in the Middle East than Bush. Thank you, Jimmy Dore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Barack Obama, more like Barack, another bomb on the wing of the plane. I don't know. Barracks. Bombing barracks. Barracks Obama, you know. Come on.
Bombing the barracks.
So Kylie Jenner, definitely more credit than she deserves. Jennifer Lawrence, same thing. Kylie Jenner chopped her face off and got a new one, and that's what she's famous for. Jennifer Lawrence, if I'm not mistaken, like sucked off Harvey Weinstein, and like that's like it. Like she basically banged her way into the A-list.
Interesting.
Not sorry. Madonna.
That's
not. Yeah, Madonna, total Leo. She's more of like a Virgo. She's got like that weird. She's on the Virgo Leo, not really on the cusp, but she's got a lot of Virgo in her chart.
She does. She's got a Virgo stellium if you take Pluto into account.
So that's where you should. That's where you get that whole like a virgin touched for the very first time. You know?
Yeah.
Leo, virgin. She's all about virgin, but she's also like she's making fun of virginity, you know, the whole time. She's total skank, but she knows that. We're not telling her anything new. Who else? Carl Jung. Okay, he deserves some credit. He's the first guy on this list who's actually as smart as people say. What, are you gonna shit on him?
I think he's overrated. I think he's a little bit overrated.
Okay, but he's the first to come to many of those conclusions. Like, you know, I haven't even read much Carl Jung, but I recognize he made great contributions.
I haven't read enough to shit on him. And this
Hey,
is a
man,
Jordan Peterson supporting
he
channel.
literally he believed, and again, I don't know all the details, the specifics. He believed astrology was an objective part of reality. It was not just like it was not, just generated recently. He believed astrological symbols were, embedded in the unconscious, that the archetypes that he was all, obsessed with loosely tracked could loosely be tracked to astrological concepts or astrological, motifs.
I'll amend my criticism because maybe I'm just tired of hearing people talk about Carl Jung.
Yeah,
Everyone just goes the shadow. Oh, the shadow, the shadow.
Yep,
holy shit.
Yes, I agree with that. That's totally.
I amend my criticism.
And Carl Jung is like, he's kind of low. Very smart guy, but he's kind of like low hanging fruit, especially in, I guess, the English translations of his work. It's like, it's very approachable, very accessible. Because of that, a lot of white girls are like all over Carl Jung, and they're like Merlin just said, it's shadow work. Oh my God, have you integrated your shadow yet? Oh my God, Melissa, we need to leave here right now. There are people here who have not integrated their shadow. Okay,
on the Lionsgate, they have not integrated their shadows.
Yeah. So, whatever. But who else is on this list? Austin Butler. Talk about a big nothing burger. All right. Totally sucks. Sandra Bullock, not even remotely talented or fun to watch. Demi Lovato. I don't even know what the fuck she's famous for. No idea.
Phoebe.
Halle Berry. She can get it. All right. She's in the Halle Berry's beautiful, and nothing bad to say about Halle Berry. Daniel Radcliffe totally sucks. Was terrible as Harry Potter. Totally terrible as Harry Potter.
You didn't like him as Harry Potter. I feel like he's a good Harry Potter. What did you like about the?
He sucked.
Harry Potter.
He's a bad actor.
Potter.
He's dorky.
That's short. Harry Potter.
He's dorky, short, and check his early life section. That's all I'll say.
Do you want Chatty Potter in there?
Jason Statham. Now there's a real fucking Leo. Yeah. Jason Statham. That's a Leo right there, right?
I don't see
Youngblood's a Leo. All right. Youngblood gets so much. People love Youngblood. They jerk him off so much. They act like he's like saving rock and roll. He sucks. So all these people. Kate Bush is pretty good. Shawn Mendes sucks. J.K. Rowling sucks.
Bill Clinton ruined the fucking country. Bill Clinton and Barack Obama are both fucking Leos, bro. Worked as the twin lions to fucking open the gates to ruin the country.
I like that. That's good. So yeah. Jackie Kennedy, she was a narcissist too. I don't use that word lightly. And that may shock a lot of people. Like, oh, Jackie Kennedy, what did she do wrong? I don't like her. I don't like her at all. She had like clinical narcissism, where it was like she lived in La La Land, and her life's the only real one. Like something like that. I did not like her at all. Talk about ugly too. I mean, whew. I don't use that. I never diagnose people as narcissists ever. Okay. I'll diagnose myself first as one before I diagnose anyone else.
You think Kennedy was gay?
No.
Didn't he have that special friend or whatever?
Come on, Merlin. It's politics, all right. I mean, how do you get started in politics without getting a little,
Fair.
Yeah.
Martha Stewart.
Steve Carell, he's a good Leo. He, very warm. So something else. Leos, maybe I'm being too critical. Leos bring warmth. People like to look at Leos. You may hate a fucking Leo, but you'll tolerate them on TV, You'll like Leos are best kept kind of at a distance, like on stage. Like Leos, you don't want to be at a table with a Leo. You're like rolling your eyes, like, oh my God, they just talk about themselves. They're like obsessed with themselves. I don't know. But when they're on stage, when there's a certain, proper distance between you and them, it's perfect. Leos, they do great. So, yeah. What do you think?
I agree. Anna Kendrick, that she has like a natural good performer. Is she might she be the female with charisma? Or that I just like her back in the day? Probably
No.
Probably
See, women,
that.
yeah, women don't have charisma. Like smiling and having a magnetic smile is not charisma. Being beautiful, being seductive is not charisma. It's just,
Good enough for
Char-
government work. I don't know.
charisma can achieve all those, but Mother Love Bone. Search what's Andy Wood's birthday. Andy Wood. Search
Andy
that,
Wood. Yeah, you got
please.
it. Andy Wood, born January 8th. Nope.
Okay, he's a cat.
He's a cat. Yeah.
So this was like the first, maybe I'm wrong about that. This was like one of the early grunge bands.
He died at the tail end of Pisces.
Yeah. Seattle grunge band. The song Wood is about him. Alice in Chains, it's about him. He died very young.
That's sad.
Was he only 24?
Yeah, 24.
That's crazy.
That's a baby, dude. It's a fucking infant.
I think Dwayne Allman was 24 too. And the amount of shit that they got recorded before Dwayne Allman died at 24 is crazy.
Bro, he OD'd on heroin. What the fuck?
So, but Mother Love Bone's really good too. He's a pretty good singer. Mother Love Bone, I like. Stardog Champion's good.
This is a crazy picture. This is him on the right, apparently. Wild. Lil Uzi Vert is a Leo. Do you know who Lil Uzi Vert is?
Yeah, say it really fast.
Lil Uzi Vert?
Faster.
I feel like I'm getting hoodwinked right now.
No, Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi Vert.
Oh, Lucifer. Oh gosh. Lil Lucifer. Oh man. Dang, that's not good. Lucifer.
Yeah, he sucks. He's the guy who had the crystal embedded in his forehead.
What?
You didn't see that?
No.
Yeah, he had like the fucking like Thanos stone, whatever, like embedded in his forehead. Yeah, he had a crystal. It's gone now. But...
I mean, he looks intelligent.
Why? How? He's got those doo-doo shrubs on his head.
Jeez, dude.
Do they call them doo-doo shrubs?
Bro, people watch this?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? Whatever. All right.
All right, dude. Leos. There's probably a lot we could say about Leo words, like leadership, leisure, yeah. But I think we covered enough. Patrick Swayze, he's a great Leo, total Leo.
He is, dude.
Joe
Fucking
Rogan,
Roadhouse, bro.
Joe Rogan, Leo, more
Joe
credit
the
than he
Toe.
deserves. Number one podcast in the world. How? Unless it's just like the CIA.
But we were all into it for a time. Yes,
I wasn't.
right? You
No,
were.
not
You
me.
never had a
Never.
Joe Rogan.
Never. I have never watched more than 10 minutes of a Joe Rogan podcast. Like ever.
Even in like 2015.
Nope.
Wow. Okay. Good on
No,
you.
2015, I was watching Santos Bonacci, Robert Sepper, New Earth, maybe not. I forget.
Dang.
I don't know if the timing works on that, but I think I was watching New Earth by like 2016, 2017. Yeah, no. I've always had a big aversion to Joe Rogan. Like I hated Joe Rogan. I hate him. I don't like him at all. Everything about him is disgusting. The way he looks, what he promotes, his lifestyle. It's disgusting. But Tom Brady, total Leo also.
Yep.
Leo is, yeah, they're great. Leos get credit. Not saying it's always undeserved. Tom Brady definitely deserves his credit, But a same thing with Tom Brady. Is he the best passer with the ball? No. Is he the smartest quarterback? No. Is he the fastest? Not even close. You can't pick one thing that makes him, better than everyone else. It's literally just heart. Like spirit, heart, soul. That's what Tom Brady has. Oh, leadership is the one thing he has. One thing that Tom Brady definitely has that he's best at, leadership. So quarterbacks, a lot of good Leo quarterbacks.
That's a good point. The sun is the leader of that symphony in the sky. So that's a really good point.
Who are you talking about? Tom Brady, Emperor Zed? Who had the fakest career ever? I don't know. 7 rings? Come on.
Oh, I think he's talking about Joe Rogan.
I don't know. Maybe. No, I think he's talking about Tom Brady.
Oh, maybe.
I like Tom Brady. He's like 90% vegan, so I've got to stick up for him.
Is he really?
Yeah, he goes vegan, or he used to go vegan during the season, or something like that. He's
Cool,
like
I had no idea.
he's like a nutritional vegan. Like he's 99% vegan, but he'll eat bacon because he loves it. Like he'll wake up and be like, "Oh, he says like he cheats with bacon, and he has no problem cheating. He's not at all a emotional or moral, ethical, like not vegan for those reasons. He's purely does it for like recovery
Oh, all right.
and like, clean eating and longevity. He wants, man, he eats pretty good. He was playing till he was 44, 45. That's unheard of,
Good long career.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Leo, so much more we could say. Could go off on all these people, but here,
It is past midnight here.
Joe the Toe with $10. I know you liked that. Ripping on Joe Rogan. Joe the Toe cracked open his wallet. Joe the Toe got up, walked the other room, and got his wallet open just because we were ripping on Joe.
That
Joe
profile
Rogan.
picture is so good, dude. And then he's a bear too, because it's Joe the Toe. Yeah. So that's good shit.
Units of measure. It's a rule of thumb. Unit of measurement.
Yeah, that's an Owen Benjamin joke. He's
Little-
like, how
little
how
guy.
many Joe Rogans tall are you? Because Joe's so fucking short.
That's
Oh my god.
Solar Bear 1776 with a 1999 says, "Great podcast with Kurt. You had him in a chokehold from the first schizo joke." Well, thanks, man. Appreciate that. I definitely wasn't going on the offensive, but you know, I was kind of. I felt like I was enduring a lot of, just like, yeah. It was a joke, but you know, what little amount of truth in there was like, hey, can we just sit on one topic for a sec? Can we just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it seemed like it was taken as more of a jab than a joke. Honestly, when I listened, I was like, "Whoa, that's a little bit like it wasn't." It was just a little dig. It wasn't. I don't know.
I don't give a shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, oh yeah, whatever.
It
Thanks,
was a good listen, though.
thanks, Solar Bear. Appreciate it. 1999, top spender of the night.
That's huge.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Happy Lionsgate portal.
Yes.
We're manifesting abundance and gratitude, and yeah. All right, guys, go subscribe to Wise Wizard Merlin too if you haven't already. Wise with a Z, Wise Wizard Merlin on YouTube.
Dr. Narco Longo, the backup channel.
Totally. Yeah, go subscribe to my backup channel, Dr. Narco Longo, on YouTube. I'll see you Tuesday. We got new Jewish pirates video coming out. Tuesday. Go watch my other Jewish Pirates of the Caribbean videos. That's a 10 or 11 part series that we're right in the middle of. All right, everyone. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.
Peace.